Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tinfoil Tuesday. How's everyone doing? I've missed you guys. I'm so sorry this month has been so all over the place, and I haven't been streaming as many days as typical. Like I said, for the rest of the month and early in next month, I'm planning on streaming longer streams to make up for it. I am so sorry. Glad to be back with you guys. Let me see what I missed. Rageology with a $20 tip says a small something to make up for some of the lost income from the failed stream. Thank you, I appreciate it. Rick M says, your pick for who plays Dolly in the movie about her life. I don't even want to think about that. I literally found out about her death like 5 minutes ago from chat. So I've been, for hours, I've just been looking at tinfoil stuff. I've been completely detached from like social media, so I literally found out. I don't know. I don't like musical biopics usually, so it'd probably be bad anyway. Anyway, so yeah, thank you, Rageology, for that tip. Speaking of tips, we did start our new tip goal, and that is to get new audio equipment. I am not lying to you. I've been using effectively the same microphone for like 15 years. I have gotten a different one of this, but it's the same model. And my audio sounds bad, to be honest with you. It does not sound very good. So I do want to upgrade to something more this decade, what most streamers use, as opposed to this USB mic. So, yeah, if you want to help us get towards that goal and support the stream, you can always use the tip link. Of course, we are close to the end of the month, and because of all the stuff, we are behind on subs. So if you want to help support the channel, I'd really appreciate it if between now and the end of the month, you'd consider becoming a subscriber or gifting subs. We are also, by the way, going to be doing our Patreon and member-only stream after this stream today, so we are going to hang out and do that. The plan is to look at a conspiracy theorist we haven't taken a look at in a while. You probably know who it is. Rick M, thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Appreciate you. Jealous of Pib's equipment? I'm jealous of everyone's equipment, because mine is terrible. Oh, thank you so much, Rick M. Anyway, so today we have all sorts of tinfoil. We are going to be playing bingo, of course, so get your bingo cards ready if you'd like. And, yeah, I think that's it. If you like the stream, do me a favor on YouTube, hit the like button, just hit the thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. Why do you look like Where's Waldo? It's almost like I'm wearing a Where's Waldo costume. Weird. Anyway, I wear costumes every day. People vote on what costumes I wear. This is the costume for today. Like I was saying, you can like the stream on YouTube, I'd appreciate it. Hype the VOD if you can. If you're on YouTube, you can always support the stream via memberships or super chats. Again, we're doing a member-only stream after regular stream today, as well as this upcoming weekend. And on Twitch, you can always use bits or subs. You guys know the deal. Alrighty, with all my stuff out of the way, let's jump into stuff, shall we? I don't even know. What are we going to start with? I pulled up so much for today. Let's do... this one's an easy one to start with. So, you guys know Nino. We've covered Nino before. Nino's Corner. He's like a right-wing MAGA chud, and he's also into, like, conspiracy theory stuff, adjacent to QAnon, things like that. Also other esoteric stuff. General far-right conspiracy stuff that they tend to be into. Interestingly, this crosses over with one of my other interests, which is film, and in particular, horror. Here he's interviewing a guy that I'm vaguely familiar with. His name is Ari Lehman. I had to look at his name, I forgot it for a second, but I'm familiar with him. He was the first actor to play Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th. Now, no, he did not play the one you're thinking of. He did not play the one in the hockey mask and the machete. He didn't even play the one from the second film with the bag over his head and sort of this vaguely hillbilly aesthetic. He played Jason at the end of the first Friday the 13th movie, where Jason isn't the killer, in the dream sequence at the very end. You know, when he pops out of the water to get the final girl and she wakes up and it's just a dream or whatever. Yeah, he's kind of made a career out of going to conventions and stuff. He does have a band, as someone else points out in chat, called First Jason. Look, get your bag, man. Do what you gotta do. But I would say I wouldn't choose to make my whole persona about a bit part I did 40 years ago. But whatever. He's apparently into woo-woo stuff, so he and Nino are going to talk about some vaguely conspiracy bullshit. Demons, aliens, and witchcraft, all that stuff. So let's check it out.
All right, folks. Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I'm with Ari Lehman. And yes, you know who he is. Remember
45 years ago now? Again, I love that movie. I do. I love all the Friday the 13th movies, even the bad ones, and there's plenty of those. But goddamn, dude.
Friday the 13th, Jason Friday the 13th. Yeah, that guy. We're talking to him. 1980.
How is Friday the 13th Gnosticism? It's obviously Gnosticism because you thought you lived in a world where children who drown in a lake just die, and instead they actually come back from the dead and kill teenagers, often for sexual escapades. So that's like your worldview's been blown, man. Gnosticism or something. I don't know. About as good as the documentary we watched.
1980.
Yeah.
Jason.
Stolen Valor. See, this is the thing. Okay, he's technically is Jason, but like he's not Kane Hodder. You know what I mean? And I know Kane Hodder is far from like he didn't come in until like film. I forget if it's 6 or 7, but he did like between 7 and Jason X, and he was just so good at it. But it could have even been the one from 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Well, 5, I guess it isn't Jason, it's Roy, but...
Friday the 13th, you were the little boy that drowned, correct?
That's right, man. That's right. Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. It's me, Ari Lehman. Rhymes with Demon. The first Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th.
6 is the best movie. Friday the 13th 6 is probably the best Friday the 13th movie. If you are going to say to me, Hannah, I'm only going to watch one Friday the 13th movie, which one do I watch? 6 is the answer. 4 is also great. 4 is also a good answer. 6 is the most mainstream. 6 had, I think, a pretty decent budget, feels the most like a real movie, if that makes sense.
The boy in the lake that drags Alice Hardy off the boat into the icy waters of Crystal Lake at the end of the movie. And you're right.
It's a dream sequence.
It's been 40.
What about Manhattan? I have a love-hate relationship with Jason Takes Manhattan in that the scenes in Manhattan are great. I love it. I love when he kicks the boombox. I love him walking through Times Square. There just isn't enough of it. And even the stuff of him on the boat is fine Friday the 13th schlock. It's just not Jason in Manhattan, which is the premise. So, like, the first part of the movie, that's like 2/3 of the movie, or at least like 70% of the movie, fine enough Friday the 13th B-movie schlock. And then the last bit, disappointing-ish New York stuff. But I still love the premise. It was mostly filmed in Ontario. They only got like 2 days to shoot in New York. Originally, they were planning on doing like a bunch of sequences at like Madison Square Garden. The scene where Jason punches off one of the kids' heads on that roof was supposed to take place at Madison Square Garden in a boxing ring, but they didn't have the budget. Anyway, sorry, I gotta let the video play. I'm on my bullshit again.
47 years since
Jason X was Kane Hodder.
We shot Friday the 13th in Blairstown, New Jersey. And you know something crazy? My band, metal band, First Jason.
Oh no. Why does this guy have Tommy Tallarico vibes?
We just performed at that diner in New Jersey. They just had a big celebration just last month. And they had a whole bunch of bands and some of the other actors from Friday the 13th, and tons of people showed up at that very...
His mother's very proud. That applies so well here.
Diner in New Jersey, where we shot Friday the 13th in 1979, bro. It's amazing.
Dude, do you still have like a cult following for that movie? I bet you it's big.
Not Again, I feel so mean.
Well, more than any other.
If you've ever seen the documentary Best Worst Film, you understand the vibe here. Watch Best Worst Film. It's about a guy who was one of the stars of Troll 2, and how he got a little way too into being obsessed with that one thing he did a long time ago. Same vibe.
Franchise, Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees owe the continued legacy to the fans, man. I mean, it's overwhelming. It is a surrealistic adventure in horror entertainment every day. People love Jason Voorhees, and there's many reasons for that. It's all about the mythology.
Nemesaur, thank you so much for gifting 10 tier 1 subs.
It's all about what kind of a monster Jason is and what he means to people. And but I am just
Nice that Owen was here. Nice.
dedicated to these fans that are dedicated to this
Troll 2's the funnier movie. Troll 2 is funny.
character, which is
Friday the 13th is good, though.
now part of American folklore and worldwide mythology. It's
Oh my god.
it's amazing, bro.
So, like, when
Still not as good as Nightmare on Elm Street.
you think of like the horror films of the 80s, you know, or 70s, you think of like Michael Myers, right? You think of Jason,
Sure.
and you think of Freddy Krueger, right? Those are the three that stand out to me. But
Well,
what's
yeah,
the biggest,
starts
what's
with-
the
it
biggest
starts
franchise? Is it Michael Myers or is it Jason?
It starts with Leatherface. It starts with Texas Chainsaw.
Oh,
Massacre.
yeah, you're right.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Made this movie about you're just at the
I'm just gonna skip into the conspiracy stuff, otherwise I'm gonna get in an hour-long discussion about the origins of slasher film. So let's just skip.
end of all of a sudden things aren't so perfect. After Halloween, it was that's Voorhees is the name. And it just in Scooby-Doo is going to be playing Mama Voorhees.
Wow.
What?
Dude, okay, listen, if I buy this poster, will you sign it?
Reassure you of something, that there's only one energy.
Okay, here we go.
And they
Here we
start
go.
with your ancestry
I tend to think
for millennium and millennium of history. They
masquerading as aliens on planets, but I tend to think
We're getting
everyone's
closer.
talking about getting old, man. You grew up in the horror film industry. You were the first Jason. I mean, there's so much meat on this bone. And now we fast forward.
Someone on YouTube says, wasn't Friday the 13th the first? Texas Chainsaw came after? No, Texas Chainsaw was before, but even before Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there were other... I call Texas Chainsaw a proto-slasher. Halloween is the first definite slasher movie. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the closest proto-slasher. You're like 95% of the way there. But even before that, yeah, The Burning's a thing. You have Peeping Tom, Psycho, Black Christmas. Yeah, Halloween wasn't even the first holiday slasher film. Black Christmas was, which again is kind of a proto-slasher. I don't know. And of course, all of this is predated by Giallo, which of course slasher films took great inspiration from as well. So, I don't know. I don't know, man.
All the way to here to 2026. We're getting old, man. And here we are.
Like, I have my big slasher films are all in this line. These are my top ones. My first in there is Psycho and Peeping Tom, then Texas Chainsaw, then Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky, Saw at the very end. Those are sort of my canonical staples. Scream should be in there too, but I didn't have room, so it's up there.
In 2026.
Yeah, Blood and Black Lace. Yep. I have that one.
And
Yeah.
all this,
Fuck. Hannah mentions Blu-rays. I was doing so good. Talking about movies without mentioning Blu-ray. Ass.
Conspiracies is now mainstream. It's now hit the mainstream. Everyone's talking about conspiracies. Nobody believes the MSN anymore. Nobody believes even this
Mainstream media.
reality is what it is anymore. Like, right? Like, everyone's questioning everything.
Gnosticism, so hot right now.
And now Here we
If they're using it like this, I'm gonna use it like this. Gnosticism is just any idea that you think you're exiting the Matrix. The wool has been pulled over your eyes.
are in the midst of UFO disclosure, UAP disclosure, alien disclosure. I tend to think I'm kind of in the camp that these could be the fallen, the Nephilim. I tend to think these can be.
I'll say Nephilim counts as giants on the bingo card. They usually determine that they're giants. Men of renown, the giants of old. Giants on the bingo card.
I'm not saying that there's not beings on other planets, but I feel like the ones that the government's trying to disclose could be demons for the most part. However, and masquerading as aliens. I want to get your thoughts on this.
Is he selling that because, like, did he just Photoshop that or AI it, or did he trace it? Because I'm pretty sure that's a direct shot of Jason from Freddy vs. Jason. I recognize that Jason design. And that is directly Jason from Freddy vs. Jason. Whatever.
Well, I would say, without a doubt, throughout...
Yeah, aliens or demons on the bingo card. Thank you. Aliens or demons.
history, for millennium and millennium of history, there's been all kinds of entities that are all around us at all times. And it's not just...
Are the entities in the room with us right now?
In other words, there's so many varieties of entities that are in the realms that are around us all the time, okay? So, and they start with your ancestral entities that surround you and protect you. You also have angelic beings that are around you at all times.
Crowded? How many beings? It seems like most things in the universe exist to crowd around human beings. Ancestors, too. So does that mean when I die, I have to go find some, like, vaguely related person in the future to go chill out with? I don't even have kids. You're telling me I gotta find, like, some cousins, kids, and haunt them, but positively? If I'm a ghost, I am not doing that. If I'm a ghost, I'm gonna post up in a movie theater. I'm gonna watch all the new movies.
But of course, there's demonic beings that exist in the universe. And we'll get to the reason for them, because there is a reason. If you look at all of these ancient scriptures and ancient texts, they tell us the reason for these demons, okay? And I can reassure you of something, that there's only one energy. There's energy, okay? And then there's the blocking of energy. There's no other energy. There's no other evil
Right, it's like light. Shadow isn't its own thing, it's just the absence of light. Cold isn't its own thing, it's the absence of heat. So it's all energy or something.
Energy entity that exists in the universe. There is energy, and there is the lack of energy, or the blocking of energy.
Or the void.
So what I'm saying is, those beings that we call demons are beings that are blocking the light of love, creation, energy, consciousness. Just in the same way.
How did pattern seeking, like, go this bad? Like, we were supposed to just, like, see footprints or, like, the brush pushed apart weirdly and go, like, predator! And now we're making up this? We've done terribly badly. Ashley One Up says the angels, demons, and ancestors around you are also playing conspiracy bingo.
That if you have a blockage in your artery or your gut or anywhere in your system, or even on your skin, you know, you're going to have an issue, right? It's not to say...
Reasoning by metaphor. This is all, of course, reasoning by metaphor. There's no real thing they're attaching to this. They're describing other things and trying to construct a comparable thing spiritually that they have no evidence of, but they feel it. So they're using other things as a point of reference to describe a non-existent thing they are constructing together.
that's
Jade Monkey, thanks for 33 months of Prime.
you know, it's to help you get rid of a symptom. Okay, if you drop a brick on your foot and you feel pain, it's not that the pain is evil. The pain is there to tell you, don't drop bricks on your foot. Okay? And human beings are a very, very interesting.
Oh my god, how many Jason tattoos does he have? I see 2 just from this angle. Chest tattoo, bicep tattoo.
Time period for humans right now. Okay? Our bodies, in essence, are more wise than our minds, and yet more wise than our soul body. Okay, like
None of that word salad. Word salad on the bingo card. Soul body. Oops, wrong button. It's this one. He's doing the Al Bundy 4 touchdowns thing. Yeah, yeah, he is. Poor guy.
in other words, your mind might
Has he been in any other films? Oh, look. Ari Lehman.
think,
Probably. Especially in, like, horror film stuff. If you've done, like, one popular horror film, people will be asking you to be in their low-budget movie for, like, 30 or 40 years, so he's probably been in something. Let me look. Let's take a look at his IMDb.
I'm going to drink all of this alcohol, but your body will stop you before you can, right? Okay. And
I know a lot about that.
so
Alcoholism.
our bodies are more wise. Our minds are like, getting there. Our emotions are like adolescence. I mean, human beings' emotions, and our souls, in my opinion, are like little babies. And
Sorry, I'm looking at all the things he's been in. I was very right in assuming what all of his roles are. Okay, so he did one role before Friday the 13th, 2 years before that as a child, Roger. Then he does Friday the 13th in 1980. Then he doesn't have another role until 2026 in Thanksgiving, which is clearly a Thanksgiving horror movie. There's an X in it. 3 Thug Mice, Telephone, Terror Overload, The Girl, House of Forbidden Secrets, Easter Sunday, a Friday the 13th short film, fan film, Bite School, Crystal Lake, another fan short film, The Barn, Pie Day, Die Day, Camp Killer, Scarred, Silkscream, Rock, Paper, Scissors, playing a character named Jason, Leaf Blower Massacre 2, Terror Tales, Clown Motel, Spirits Arise, The Lurker, Easter Holocaust, The Black Book Demented, Horror Tales 666 Part 2, that's wordy, Slutty the Clown, playing a character named Sean Voorhees, Carnal Monsters, playing another character, the same character, Sean Voorhees. Clown Motel 2, playing a character named Psycan. The Barn 2, Erotomaniac, Slaughterhouse Slaughter. Slaughterhouse Slaughter is pretty good. Oh no, it's Summer House Slaughter. I misread it. I made a funnier thing in my head. Sorry. Phantom Fun World, Lust, Magic, and Witches' Sabbath, Appetite for Sin, Friday the 13th Blood Loss, another fan film, Clown Motel 3, Ways to Hell, Lilith, a J. Crimson film, another fan film, and then UVF, Underground Video Films, playing a character named DJ Chainsaw. It looks like the thing he does more is maybe composing now, which, cool. Cool. Anyway, back to it.
And what's going on is a transition as we are growing and as we're changing.
Who is this? He played Jason in the first Friday the 13th film when Jason was a zombie child. And when he was drowning, I think.
And transmogrifying into a higher level of being, okay, that we need to be kept on the path. You see?
I kind of see ourselves as frequency antennas, right? So
That's a bad way to look at people. Vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card. Yeah, he played Kid Jason. Vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card.
Containers. I feel like we're made of water, H2O, and we are subject to vibration, right? What we give.
Unstable Deadbeat says Hannah now needs to write the horror movie Slaughterhouse Slaughter. It can be about a vegan patterned after that vegan teacher killing employees of a slaughterhouse. No, see, the plot that you go with, I think, in this case, oh no, I've basically reinvented the Texas Chainsaw Netflix movie. Okay, it's a hack script, but whatever, Netflix will buy it. Anyway, no, Slaughterhouse Slaughter. You have a new company coming in that's going to convert a slaughterhouse into like a Beyond Meat factory. I know that doesn't make sense. You wouldn't need to repurpose a slaughterhouse to make a factory to make plant-based meat. That doesn't make sense. It's fine. It's a shitty movie. It's fine. So then you have like some killer or something that's upset with this, and you have stereotypical characters. You'll have your vegan teacher character type, but you'll also have like shitty business people, some tech bro character that's like the boss, and then whoever the killer is, maybe he'll wear like a mask made of beef mask, and he goes around killing them because he's mad that they're getting rid of the slaughterhouse. I don't know. It's not going to be good. Again, it's a bad movie. It's going to be a Tubi movie. But it's fine.
Of ourselves, what goes in comes out.
Sure, lab-grown meat. That's fine. And he grew himself a mask.
It's all about, vibrational frequency. And we
call him Bobby Beef Boy.
Our antennas into this Ethernet of super consciousness.
Ethernet of super consciousness. What does he think Ethernet means?
That we either tap into or we block, which
there you go.
With what you said.
Can't the killer just get his meat from one town over? No, we're ripping off Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Clearly him or his family were involved in the old factory, and they're very upset that it's being taken over by something new and different. And they're being left behind.
We can look to some great tradition.
So Leatherface, yes, guys. I think it's fair to say that I have just reinvented a shittier Tubi D-movie version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre with really cringe political commentary aimed at a lowest common denominator. What do you expect from me?
Traditions that are like owner's manuals for the soul, okay? Like if you look right here, I have the trident of Lord Shiva. I have Lord Shiva and the Nataraj, and this is the goddess Bagalamukhi. So the tradition, the Hindu tradition, says that what we're suffering from is called self-non-recognition. The instant that we recognize that we are light, love, consciousness, then we begin the path towards wisdom, okay? And the karma even begins to melt away, your negative karma and your positive karma, because you realize,
oh my god, this is the first like whack job I've seen actually describe that you want to be karma neutral. That's so interesting. Normally the Western crackpots that adopt karma adopt it in the pop cultural my name is Earl way, where they just think do good things and good things happen. And that's what karma is.
Your consciousness, my dog's consciousness, my plant.
I'm going to say not poor understanding right now, but I have a pretty poor understanding, so.
The sun, the mountain, it's all the same exact consciousness in different time and space forms. You were born.
This is just the egg. This is just the egg short story. I forget who wrote that short story. Everyone's fucking read that short story.
A certain time and space, and consciousness is unraveling from that point, as is for me, okay? And that's what makes everything different. So when I say to you that all of those demonic entities have a reason, my brother, okay? Now listen, okay? So we can get to the part about the story that I'm involved in a little later, but I'll give you two examples, two great examples, okay, from...
Oh, by the way, we're doing the Where's Waldo today, but I did get another witch hat. I'm not getting rid of the other witch hat. I just now have a second witch hat. It's a more casual witch hat. Just wanted to point that out.
The Hindu tradition. The Hindu tradition has the best demons, man. The best. The greatest demons, because the goddess herself, Goddess Kali herself, look at her with her tongue and the skull necklace and her skirt made of...
Are we just aesthetically rating gods of other religions? Sweet Lily Love with the hats off. You want me to wear the witch hat?
Of human hands. Okay. Well, those
casual witch hat. All right, my hair's probably fucked up from the Where's Waldo hat, but I'll give it a shot.
Skulls represent the mind. The hands represent karma. But I'll tell you a story, okay? So one of the greatest demons...
Be right back.
Okay, is called Madana-sura. Madana-sura, because demons and they have the Devis and the Asuras, both have the option of praying to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva listens to the prayers of the demons equally, okay? And the stories are very fascinating. But so this one demon prayed for what? He prayed for the ability that anything he said would manifest, would come true. Anything he said would come true, okay?
That seems
so
burdensome.
He began to make these wishes, and everything he said became true. He wished for palaces. He wished to rule the mountains. He wished to rule the world. And then finally he decided he was going to take over heaven itself, okay?
That uses AI. Hold on, let me count the... There are 3 feet. Is that AI or is that part of it? It's hard...
So Madana-sura went to take over...
Is this... I'm such an idiot. That is... Okay, I wasn't sure. Sometimes extra limbs are a thing with Hindu gods, so I wanted to make sure. Alright, uses AI on the bingo card. Can't believe someone's fucking selling that. Jesus Christ.
Over heaven.
Oh yeah, the snake doesn't make any sense. Oh. Yeah. Oh, the longer you look at it, the worse it gets. Christ.
And because he could say anything, he was able to take heaven from Indra, the king of the gods, right? So all the gods are very frightened. And they went to Lord Shiva and they said, you know, what are we going to do? And what happened was, as always happens in these situations, it's the goddess that comes. The goddess comes to save, okay? We have the goddess Parvati has this manifestation.
Okay, I think I've had enough of first Jason. I just thought it was funny that he's kind of a crackpot now. Okay, let's take a look at the bingo card real quick, and then we'll move on. So far, we have aliens or demons. Hannah mentions Blu-rays, word salad, giants, vibes-based conspiracy, and uses AI. You missed the diva lady? Which lady's the diva lady? Overthought says, tired of first Jason, but what about second Jason? I actually don't know who played the second Jason. I know you're referencing Lord of the Rings. Let's do one of these NESARA videos. Which one am I gonna do? I pulled up a decent amount today, actually. Let's try this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Science Without Consensus. I am your host, Diamond, from the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, and joining me Once again is my lovely partner and co-host, Leah Shaper.
Hello.
It's been a while since we've done a show. Got a lot going
Got a
on
lot of
here.
stuff going on over here. And we're blessed.
Yeah.
It's always funny when conspiracy theorists, this is the thing, you guys know, I've talked about this before. You know, of course, that I'm on here and I stream this stuff, but of course I spend time off camera, more time than I spend on camera, looking at conspiracy stuff, because the process of finding stuff for this stream is a process of filtering. You know, for every video I find that's somewhat interesting, there's maybe 5 or 10 that were boring. But either way, it's always funny. There's a trope in conspiracy live streams where like 2 conspiracy theorists or more will open a stream and they'll greet each other and they'll just be like, whoa, guys, I know a lot's going on right now. And they won't say what, because clearly they're in the same echo chambers. So they all know what they're freaking out about and what is the thing this week that's scaring them. But it's not evident to people outside of it, so it's always just funny to hear them be like, whew, what a week, right? And you just have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. It's always some made-up thing. Just kind of funny.
The ranch didn't burn, and even though I'm still blind in my left eye, the retina...
Out of all 10 Friday the 13th films, who was the best Jason? Kane Hodder, in my opinion. I know, that's a basic bitch answer, but I do think it's the correct answer, probably. He gave Jason the most consistent personality in his performances. He put a lot of thought into the physicality. All the people who played Jason, though, did a good job. As much as I even made fun of Child Jason, he did a good job as Child Jason. He's fine.
I was reattached. So hopefully in 30 days, I'll be able to see again a little bit in that eye.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a banger of a show today about a interesting plan and a conspiracy theory called NESARA, the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. Now, the idea came about.
He looked the best for sure. Well, that's Tom Savini. You could thank Savini for that. Oh my god, Tom Savini's house burned down. Poor Tom Savini. He had to do a GoFundMe. Yeah, poor guy. I think he lost a lot of his stuff, too, because it was in his house. He had a lot of his old stuff in his house. Oh, poor guy.
In the 1990s. It was a set of proposed economic reforms for the United States suggested by private citizen Harvey Francis Bernard. And after this proposal was suggested, conspiracy theories went wild.
And yet you're still gonna talk about it. You're still gonna question if it's real. Don't know why you'd do that.
Let's talk
Did he not have insurance? I am not exactly sure the situation.
about it. The National Economic
Other than fire and he's broke as shit.
Security and Reform Act. Let's pull this up. According to the plan, it would forgive all credit card, mortgage, student loan, and other bank debt. It would dissolve the IRS. It would create flat, non-essential, new items only sales tax. Increase benefits to senior citizens.
We've been over this before, of course. This is the typical NESARA conspiracy talking points. They think that this was a bill that was secretly passed sometime near the end of the 90s that basically makes all their problems go away. This conspiracy is attractive to people with a lot of debt, with mortgages, with tax debt, any kind of debt, really, or financial trouble, which falls, a lot of people fall into that category. The economy's fucking dog shit. So they fall for this conspiracy because it gives them hope. It makes them feel like, oh my god, I can finally catch up on all my debts and bills and things and get a clean slate. It's not true.
Return constitutional law.
I would probably recommend to those people bankruptcy. I know that's not ideal, but, you know, it's there for a reason.
Provide new representational elections with constitutional law. Monitor elections. Gee, I wonder if you need ID.
No IRS, but where's the money that satisfies the debt come from? They're just saying it gets wiped out, which makes no sense. Again, like, in terms of macroeconomics, if you were to just somehow with the stroke of a pen say all debts in the United States that are based in the United States are all of a sudden zeroed out. Oh my God. It would be a thing. It would be a whole thing.
It would end the Federal Reserve System and begin a new U.S. Treasury bank system.
Basically, our entire economy is based on agreements that, like, people and companies have with each other, and often those agreements are based on debts owed to one another. So if all of a sudden no one owed anyone anything, including, I would imagine, for instance, T-bills or anything, because if you buy a bond for, like, the government and, you know, they owe you a certain amount of money, are we wiping out the government's debt as well? Because then everyone who owns government bonds is going to get fucked, and those are traditionally incredibly stable investments that are the backbone of a lot of yeah, it would be bad. It would be economic 9/11 is basically how I would describe it, but worse.
Based on metals, by the way. Create a new U.S.
To be clear, I'm not saying that we shouldn't strive for a better system and get people out of systems that cause them to go into great amounts of debt. I'm saying to immediately, with no prior planning, to go, okay, everyone's debt is gone. Boop! Impossible.
Treasury currency backed by gold, silver, and other precious metals. Restore financial privacy. Cause all aggressive U.S. government military actions cease. All aggressive U.S. military action worldwide. And this plan leads to peace throughout the world. It enables the...
Hey, I am all about pointing out American imperialism and stuff, but if you think that America is the only source of conflict in the entire world, boy, you don't know much about human beings or the world.
Release, I like this one, of over 6,000 patents of suppressed technologies and enormous sums of money for humanitarian purposes.
Believes sci-fi technology exists on the bingo card for that one. The NESARA people usually believe that they're hiding med beds and other stuff. Believe sci-fi tech exists, that's what the patent thing is.
So that's the...
It would be the equivalent of trying to fix a flat tire by instead getting rid of all 4 tires. Yeah. Yeah. Not good. Not good.
Plan, which was proposed by Bernard. But if you read this article here, it says it was actually passed into law. This is the...
Okay, well, that article is wrong. It was not. It was not ever passed. It wasn't even ever brought in front of either chamber of Congress. It's not. It was never passed.
Conspiracy theory. This says a law was passed in the United States in March 2000 and signed into law October 2000 called NESARA, the National Economic Security and Reform Act. All politicians and media members are under a gag order not to speak of it publicly until it's officially announced.
And famously, the media is able to abide by that gag order perfectly 100% for over 25 years. Not one person in the media who knows about this, apparently, because they're under a gag order, has said anything for 25 years. That's incredible.
This new law will be enacted in the United States and eventually will be rolled out across the world.
Famously, you know how American law applies to every country in the world? Yeah, that's how that works.
So that is fake.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it's really funny because it'll, like, there's this constant moving of the goalposts.
Why would Congress pass a secret law and not publicly argue about it? It makes no sense. You cannot pass a law secretly and privately. That's not how this works. That's not how the process of taking a bill and turning it into a law works in the United States. It's impossible.
Like at one point it was like, oh, in 2017, it's really going to come into effect. And then
worse than financial 9/11, a financial 1822, even worse than that.
This keeps being pushed forward. The conspiracy theory version of this.
Is this AI generated or man-made? I think the thing that well, I actually don't know for the thing he's looking at, I guess. What he's reading, if it was compiled by an AI at least, is all stuff that's part of the conspiracy theory. It's not making up new information for the conspiracy theory. Everything that it says is completely in line with the NESARA conspiracy. It's a bullet point list, and you know how that kind of churns out red flags these days with AI, but it's not formatted the same way I usually see AI format lists. So I'm going to say no. I think a human compiled this.
It's like, it's just hopium.
Here's what I find funny. One of the women that came up with some of the conspiracy theories.
Oh, thank God. They actually don't believe it. Shitballs. They're conspiracy curious. Good. They do believe other conspiracies because I've looked at other stuff of theirs. I'm glad they're skeptical of this one.
Her name is Candace Godwin.
Why is a boomer saying hopium? That guy's not a boomer. That guy's older Gen X. Maybe not even older. Maybe mid-Gen X at this point. Also, I say stuff young people say. If you're on the internet, you pick up younger slang. People get upset when old people are out of touch, and they get upset when they know modern slang. What do people want? What do people want?
Better known as the Dove of Oneness. Now, we know about Candace Owen.
Unrelated?
And these two are pretty similar.
I kind of had this similar thought earlier.
Yeah.
They're not, though. Owen? What?
Goodwin,
Dove of one.
who appropriated NESARA without Bernard's consent, claimed that the act was secretly passed with additional provisions as the National Economic Security and Reform Act, and that its implementation was suppressed by George W. Bush administration and the Supreme Court following the September 11th attacks.
9/11 out of nowhere on the bingo card. I guess I kind of knew that was going to happen, but still, it's 9/11. Where's 9/11 out of nowhere? Sorry, I gotta make this bigger for me. 9/11 out of nowhere! I found it! Thank you.
Goodwin's conspiracy emails were translated into several languages and had a large following online.
Well,
Adherents
also,
to the theory have also used the term NESARA, standing for either Global Economic Security and Recovery Act or Global Economic Security and Reformation Act. That is a
9/11 was almost a year after they believe NESARA was passed. You are correct. You are correct. But it has become a part of the conspiracy that they believe that 9/11 was done to hide the fact that NESARA was passed.
international version. So this NESARA would be the worldwide version of NESARA.
so one of the versions of this conspiracy theory suggests that the September 11 attacks happened in order to hide this.
That's pretty much the main NESARA mainstream belief about 9/11. As much as you can call a NESARA belief mainstream, that is kind of the narrative within it.
Right, to suppress it. But that's not true, is it?
No, I think you can guess from the look on my face what I think about that.
All right. I'm glad that they at least didn't fall for that conspiracy theory. Let's listen to someone who's fully on board with it. And in fact, I think is a con artist about it.
Yeah, like
This guy on the right, he is probably modern day one of the biggest online proponents of NESARA. And this is some creepy right-wing religious thing. The aesthetic should maybe tip you off a little bit about the kind of show this is. Anyway, here he is getting interviewed on some weird MAGA-friendly right-wing Christian show about NESARA.
very honored to have him join me today. So please help me welcome Dr. Scott Young to the show.
Eric called me and said, hey, what are
Who do they think did 9/11? They think the American government did it.
your
Or them, whoever they think is in charge of the American government.
top favorite, your top five
Or the global government, whatever they believe.
favorite Christian broadcasts? He asked, and I said, you got to get on Elijah's streams. You got to do it. Steve's great. You got to get on his show.
Oh, Did they just proudly?
You got to get on Elijah's streams. You got to do it. Steve's great. You got to get on his show.
You put Roger Stone in your intro proudly. I think you're going directly to hell. I think that's in the Bible somewhere if you look hard enough.
Hey, Dr. Scott, it's great to have you back on.
All right, how you doing?
Wouldn't the right wing be against NESARA? Actual people that are like wealthy MAGA people, yes. People in charge of the actual movement, yes. But like the actual working class MAGA people that are struggling and have been propagandized to vote against their best interests, no, they're desperate for it.
Good.
A lot of 9/11 truthers thinks it's them. Yes, obviously.
Good. I'm
Unfortunately.
excited to learn more once again about, I feel like, the deep layers that are the QFS system. Now to you, you're like,
QFS is quantum financial system. It's another thing where they take a sci-fi sounding word and append it to another thing and act like it's a new thing. Quantum financial system.
it's not that complicated, Kelsey. It's really not. And I'm like, well, what about this? And what about, like, you're a business owner, right? So
Yeah, I'm a business owner, but I mean, I get up, like I got up about 3:30 in the morning here. I get up in prayer, and I'm spending a lot of time in prayer, and then I go to work, and I probably get there about 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I do the business.
Avila says, Elijah streams. Yikes, Fundyland Tinfoil crossover. Is there another person that covers this channel or something? If so, who? I will check out their stream.
Side of everything, and then I spend time, with you. I have interviews, and then I'm going to spend a lot of
Rickham, Isaiah 42:69. The Lord, Hannah Reloaded, said, "Thou shalt not use a graven image of Roger Stone in an opening."
time after this, and I
Mhm.
do my research.
Owen Morgan covers Elijah's stream a lot. Okay.
Right now, I'm going to give you a little hint. Do you want to hear a little hint of research right now?
Yeah.
So
My research said by a non-researcher on the bingo card. My research said by a non-researcher.
we were in Kansas City, my wife and I, and I was explaining to you guys, we were at the Federal Reserve in Kansas City. And so there's some real interesting research. I was messing with the woman in the Kansas City Federal Reserve. We were talking to her.
Of course
She
you
was
were.
giving really funny answers that she wasn't ready for me.
Yeah.
But we were at the World War I Museum, which is like right next door. There's like a little horseshoe kind of place, and we were parked over there, right? And there was there's some conversations, and I'll just give you a 5-second little thing. The World War I, World War II were introduced by the president. Right. So he goes into Congress and Senate and says, "Can I go to war?" They go, "Yes, you go to war." Fascinating point is the Versailles Treaty is the
We should go back to that. Asking Congress if we should go to war. Wouldn't that be nice?
exit of World War I. And
Mhm.
I had always I've studied those two things, very, very deeply. Something I just learned about is that the Senate rejected the Versailles Treaty of the exit of World War I. And I'm like, what?
And how did it pass?
It didn't pass. And so I'm like, wait
What?
a second. Hold on a second. If it doesn't pass, then how are we still out? And we're still not in that. We're still in the war.
He thinks we're still in both World War I and II? And I guess the Korean War, right? That's still technically on. Wow.
So I'm like asking the guys that are like, I don't know. And so he goes, go upstairs and talk to Dennis. And I go upstairs to talk to Dennis. He goes, well, There's another treaty called the Treaty of Berlin in
Did the U.S. have any hand in the Treaty of Versailles? I have no idea.
1921. And I'm
Congress didn't ratify it because they didn't like the League of Nations. Gotcha.
like, yeah, but who passed that treaty?
Mm-hmm.
Well, someone else signed it. And I'm going,
The U.S. rejected Versailles. Well, tough shit. The armistice was signed by everyone else. Oh, he thinks that because the U.S. signed it, like we're still in World War One, but with no opponents.
yeah, but if the Senate doesn't pass
Goth Geek Gaming, thanks for the raid. Check out Goth Geek Gaming here on Twitch.
it, did we ever end World War One?
What did he say?
And he goes, I don't know. And I'm like,
my goodness.
Oh my god, why is everyone such a No, not everyone. I'm sorry. Why is she being so gullible? Why does she believe this? Hi, Goth Geek Gaming. How are you doing?
so if we didn't pass, if World War One was never officially signed by the Senate, now people are going to be like freaking out with me on this one.
Mhm.
Did World War One officially ever end?
Yes. Yes, it did. There's an end date for World War One. You can look it up. Yep. We stopped fighting about it, and there was an agreement. It doesn't matter if America agreed to the agreement. Everyone else did and the fighting stopped.
Constitutionally, the answer might be no. And if
Does he think that America is in charge of who's still at war? Like, he thinks that America decides if other people are at war or not?
it didn't end, was it a cabal, a beginning of what we're actually
Cabal on the bingo card. Hold on. Like, what does he even think it means that we would still be at war? What would that mean? We're not. So, like, what does he mean?
dealing with here? Because the Federal Reserve was the beginning of all these things that we're dealing with right now. And are we going to see a closing of this? And this might be my 20th book. I don't know that.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say if you've written 20 books at this guy's age, they're probably pretty shit books.
But this is the crazy stuff that happens to me. And every time I go to places like that, they were like, the guy was walking
Stephen King is the exception for some reason. I don't know why.
away going, man, that guy like messed my brain up because I had never heard questions like he's ever said. I'm like, well, that's kind of what I do. So
He's like, we're not used to critical thinkers around
Yeah,
here.
like-
Does it take critical thinking to say the thing that they're saying? But what if it didn't? That's contrarianism. That's not critical thinking.
Yeah.
And obviously I've got like a billion pictures and a billion bits of research I need to do because,
Yeah.
I thought I knew World War One.
So interesting.
Cocaine Hannah King did a shit. Okay, here's the thing. I know everyone, including myself, makes the Stephen King cocaine joke, but frankly, do you think Stephen King was the only author throughout the 70s and 80s that was doing copious amounts of blow? I'm just saying, you might want to give him an asterisk or something. But it wasn't just the cocaine. Plenty of other people were doing cocaine. He's a very talented guy. But yeah, the cocaine probably did help.
But there's some stuff that we need to work on. So anyway,
Wow,
that's some fun stuff. to solve.
so interesting, Dr. Scott.
Yeah.
Well, so we're going to talk today about the quantum financial system. And can you just, before we even get started with your PowerPoint, can you quickly share what is the QFS and how does NESARA come into play and all of that?
Yeah, so it's national.
Ratiology with a two-part message says, from the Wikipedia page, after the Versailles Conference, Democratic President Woodrow Wilson claimed that at least the world knows America is the savior of the world. Oh, fuck off. However, Wilson had refused to bring any leading members of the Republican Party, led by Henry Cabot Lodge, into the talks. The Republicans controlled the United States Senate after the election of 1918 and were outraged by Wilson's refusal to discuss the war with them. The senators were divided into multiple positions on the Versailles question. It proved possible to build a majority coalition, but impossible to build a two-thirds coalition that was needed to pass the treaty. Gotcha.
National Economic Stabilization and Reformation Act. So basically, and people get all, sideways about it. There's a whole bunch of people go, I don't believe it at all.
Wilson thought he was the Messiah. Yeah, I've not heard great things about Woodrow Wilson.
Oh, it's a scam. This guy said it's a scam. And here's what I always kind of say.
It is a scam.
If you believe in an election fraud, yes.
No.
Do you believe in voter fraud? Yes.
No, not at
large scale. Do you believe
scale.
in a gold-backed currency?
No.
Yes. Do you believe in end the Fed? Yes.
No. Yes.
Do you believe in
Look at her. She's like, yeah, tell me more. Yes. Yeah. Like she's just eating it up.
End the IRS? Yes. I go,
I don't believe in any of these things. If you believe in these things, you don't know how anything works.
You're on board.
That wasn't none of that. Even if you are in favor of all those things, it has no bearing on whether or not NESARA's true, which it isn't.
Those are the things that happens.
Wilson was the first president to screen a movie at the White House. Just don't ask which movie. I'm aware. It's Birth of a Nation.
Reality that we have to do.
Anyone want to go dig up D.W. Griffith's corpse with me, hit it a few times with a shovel, and then rebury it?
Deal with is that we have to deal with getting people back within term limits, being constitutional with the law.
Yeah, constitutional law. Yeah.
So
yeah, constitutional law. You know the trope in animation when there's like a school bully and then they have like another friend of the school bully who just kind of repeats some of the stuff he says? Yeah, this is that dynamic. She's just like the hype woman.
If you're and you go, well, I agree with those things. And so who are the superseders of the stuff that we're struggling with SCOTUS, right? And everyone goes, yeah, SCOTUS is bad. And all those different.
Why does he think the Supreme Court is bad? They're letting Trump do virtually whatever he wants.
Court things that we're seeing here. We're seeing all this corruption. And you go, yeah. Well, guess what happens? When you hear the oaths of office, and they have violated oaths of office, guess what? There are two different groups of people who haven't violated their oaths of offices. That's a hard one to say.
Overthought. Thanks for gifting a sub.
President of the United States, which is Donald Trump, number one. And the second one is who?
Who?
The military.
Okay.
Because their oath is to the president and to the Constitution and to the people specifically, right? So it's above it's above the silly the silly Congress, and it's
the silly Congress. Silly Congress, what do you think you are? A check on other branches of government? Oh, silly checks and balances.
Above SCOTUS. And so
they're not what? No, none of them. We have three co-equal branches of government. Did you not go to middle school? What are you doing?
Okay.
That's who has to actually help us get this stuff under control. And so that's kind of what we talk about. So if you're kind of going, I don't believe all the NESARA stuff, I'm like, that's fine. If you don't have to.
Does Roberts know that his court is going to be looked back on like as one of the worst courts? And I don't even know how long. Like, I guess he's not Tanny bad, but like, like pretty close.
To go that way. Let's get to the meat of that stuff, right? Maybe you don't like the corn on your on your plate.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality
corn.
is you like the meat and you like the potatoes.
Yeah.
Don't get off in the weeds here, in essence. And I know I mixed my metaphors there a little bit, but you get the overall idea, and that's what you need to stick on.
Yeah. So basically, you see all the things that are wrong and you want to change. If you want to change, there has to be a change. Something has to be implemented that is different than what we're currently seeing.
Okay, but none of that has anything to do with whether or not this is real or whether or not this is a good solution. Doing anything isn't necessarily better than doing nothing if what you're doing is nonsensical and damaging. Oh my goodness.
And that's what's going to happen with that, at least with the financial system.
Right.
So, okay, share with me the QFS system first. What is it? And what is it going to look like when we kind of switch over?
So that's the stuff that you guys had asked for. We talked about, we always talk about every month, you guys go, would you guys create something? I'm like, okay, cool. So I kind of, dredged up, back in, and I created this for you guys. And so I'd like you to bring it up here and let's play with it together. So I pulled out some misunderstandings. Now,
he hasn't even explained this well. What do you mean misunderstandings? You have to have a basic premise.
Guys,
is he going to get into specifics now? That'd be great. I've basically heard it's crypto stuff. It's related to cryptocurrency, the QFS.
Dr. Scott,
and that's the most I've heard about it, other than the reevaluation of currency. All currency will be equaled, including stuff like the Iraqi dinar. If you've heard that conspiracy theory, it's tied in.
Scott and me and Steve never do any of that kind of weird QFS crypto. There's no one else out there selling it. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. Okay. And I'm going to teach you a sign. There's a little thing where you can kind of do this thing. It's called the reigns. Okay. And
what about the Iraqi dinar? So there was a scheme going back to the early 2000s, around the time of the Iraq War. And the scam was basically, buy a bunch of Iraqi dinars, of course, that are now worthless, and eventually they're going to be revalued. Global currency is going to get all revalued, so all global currency is equal to $1. So you can the theory is you would buy a bunch of Iraqi dinars for no money because they were worthless, and then you would hold them until this reset, and then suddenly each single Iraqi dinar that you had would be worth the same amount in dollars. So let's say you had, a 10,000 dinar bill or something that normally would be worth nothing. All of a sudden it's worth $10,000. It's a scam. It was a scam to sell people something worthless with the promise that later it'll be worth a lot more money.
In essence, this is going to be much more simple. The reins of the control.
That makes no sense. Why do that and not just invent a common single currency? It's a get-rich-quick scam. So it doesn't really need to make sense. It needs the marks to be desperate and greedy and want to make money right now with little effort. So it doesn't really need to make sense.
Holes have been in the banks and other people.
How do I think the conspiracy people, especially right-wing ones, will react to Dolly Parton's death outside the normal trying to contact the dead thing with some of them? I imagine they'll focus on her queer allyship and demonize her in some way.
They've had all the controls, in essence, right?
Yes.
Now the controls are going to come to you instead of the controllers being with them. And that's what I want you to overall understand too. So
no middleman.
Yeah, so there's no more middleman. I mean, you're going to have all that capability with it too. So we're going to use
what kind of capability? You're speaking in such vague terms. What do you mean?
This ugly word up here, distributed ledger blockchain.
Why is that an ugly word?
Okay, and a distributed ledger blockchain, there's a couple different types of them. One of them is called Bitcoin. But the quantum financial...
It's just crypto. It's just cryptocurrency. It's just crypto. In what way is this quantum?
Financial system is also a distributed ledger blockchain. Okay. So it has, when you think about it, you say, well, this little thing of gold, this is an ounce of gold that's in my hand here. How would I bite it off and go ahead and sell and buy something? Like, I can't take this thing that is worth right now in my hands, what, 4,100, and sell it or give it to Kelsey. Kelsey, you're like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. But how?
If only we could take some sort of store of value and instead of using something cumbersome like precious metals, instead divide it into some sort of notes or coins that are representative of some value.
How would I buy something that's less worth than 4,100, right?
Unless they give you change in gold.
Right. So they're not going to give you a little fraction.
Right.
Right. So you have to have the ability to count it out in smaller bits. And that's what the blockchain or distributed.
We already solved this with money. We already solved this with currency.
ledger does here. Okay. But what it does is that it's able to count it out instead of you having to sit there like on your checkbook and go, dang.
Oh, wow. This is targeted at older people. Your checkbook. Oh, boy. Let me pull out my checkbook like it's 1976. You know how many checks I filled out in my entire life? I think 3. One was for my house. Oh my God.
I missed that one, right? And instead of and Quicken, in your Quicken, you sometimes miss those little ledger points. Well, this thing goes back 100 ledgers before and 100 ledgers forward, either way. And frankly, it's so good at looking at it, it catches them. And I'm going to show you one here in just a minute here.
Okay.
And it's such a cool way that happens.
I'm old enough that they taught me to balance my checkbook in school. What a waste of time that was. Balance your checkbook. Which, by the way, is just adding and subtracting the things you deposit and spend. You don't need to be taught that. At least I wouldn't think.
What the personal...
Your dad uses checks all the time still? Everyone's saying their parents still use checks. How old are your parents? Because I'm going to be real. Most people in my audience are either my age or older than me. Your parents would be older than that. So, yeah, I bet they are using them.
QFS in the future.
Dad turned 80 on Saturday? Yep.
Is going to look like. It is going to be so private.
Dad is 76. Yes, all of the yes, these are all old people. They're all very old.
But no one's going to see it. And see, right now, for instance, when you do something, it always makes you do these crazy things. Like you have to have this thing. And right now I have to have like Bitwarden here on my phone. And I'm like putting in the codes and it's emailing this thing and I have to do that and put in the dumb other code. And I mean, it's annoying as all get out.
Man, if only you could use a banking app from an actual institution that's insured by the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the QFS, and the reason is that someone can hack it.
Mm-hmm.
But a distributed ledger blockchain is unhackable.
Now, how?
Why would that be a big deal? That's not really a concern usually with like online transactions. I've never used PayPal or used Zelle or any other app to transfer money and had it hacked. Like you're touting a solution to a problem no one has.
How is that? On how do they do that?
And it's because of the nature of the blockchain. And people go, no, that can't be unhackable. Bitcoin.
It doesn't need to be hackable. Most Bitcoin and other cryptos get stolen via social engineering, or other schemes that don't involve hacking, but involve gaining rightful access to your account and then stealing it.
Has never, ever been hacked.
Again, what does that mean? No one's trying to hack it. That's not what it is. How often do, like, what he is effectively saying is, you can't get in and steal my money. Guys, how often has anyone hacked into your bank account and stolen money? Never. Like, maybe you had someone have your password or something who took money that they shouldn't have, but that's not hacking. No one is hacking into your bank account and stealing money. Like, this is not an issue, but he's pretending that it's solving some issue.
Wow.
And guess what? They have tried to.
Bitcoin protection is from man-in-the-middle attacks, but those are rarely used anymore. Yeah, Dan Olson went into this more in detail in his documentary Line Goes Up, I believe was the name of that one.
Hack it. And no one's ever been able to hack it.
No one's ever hacked my bank account either.
Blockchains have been tried to be hacked and they've never been hacked. This is the cool part of this. And one of the things that most people don't realize is the QFS was created at the same time as Bitcoin. I learned about this a long time ago by the people that were part of this kind of system. So this is the weird, I know people don't believe me, but it's true. But what's going to be cool about this is that you are going to have control over your system.
What kind of control are you going to have that you don't currently have over your bank account?
So now, Dr. Scott, if I go to the bank and I say, I want to take out $20,000 because...
A problem we all have. I just need to pull out $20,000 real quick.
I want to do whatever. I want to go on vacation and do this, and I want to give my kids money. I can't just go do that. Like, I can't just have my own, even though it's my money.
Yeah, they have a hissy fit, don't they?
Yeah.
No, they don't. You literally just have to fill out a form. What are you talking about? They don't hold $20,000 at the bank in cash. They have to order it. Oh my God, they're so dumb. They don't know how fractional reserve banking works. Okay, so let me explain how this works. I believe the number is still $10,000. If you are going into a bank to withdraw or deposit over $10,000, they need you to fill out a form for tax purposes, and also it's just to keep track of large transactions so you can avoid money laundering and stuff. It's just for filing purposes. It's really not a big deal. And not only that, but banks, I don't know if you know this, you should know this, your local bank does not have millions of dollars in the vault. Your local bank has very little cash there because they don't want to get robbed. They don't want to get robbed of tens and tens of thousands of dollars in cash. So your average bank holds, I don't know, maybe between, this might be out of date, but at least as of 15 years ago or so, your average bank might hold between like $2,500 to $5,000 in their drawers at any given time. That is actually accessible, and it's going to depend on the size of the bank. So if you need to get over $10,000 or $20,000 or whatever, they literally do not have that money there. You need to go in or call them, fill out some paperwork. You have the money. It's your money, but they need to retrieve the cash. So they will fill out an order, and then when the truck, the security truck that gets and brings them cash and stuff, will get an order. They will bring you $20,000 in cash on a date that is determined between you and the bank, and you can come in and get the cash. It's not that you can't have the money. It's your money. It's just that the way our financial system works, banks don't hold that much cash at a time, and we keep track of those transactions to avoid money laundering and stuff. It's still your money. My God.
Yeah, you can't just go and get you can't just withdraw $20,000, so you cannot do it. So with this blockchain, I can just have that money because it's all, so it's like.
What do you mean have that money? It's not cash. It's the same as having a digital amount in your bank account, except at least in my bank account, again, it's insured by the FDIC, right? And there are laws and regulations around what the bank can and can't do with that money that is my money, right? I don't understand why they think this is somehow safer. If you want cash, you still need to pull it out of this, take it through some other crypto app to convert it into dollars, put that in your bank account, and then you're still going to have the same problem where you have to go to the bank and get the cash. What are you talking about?
It's like basically kind of like using your credit card. If let's say the limit was that much or whatever, you can just go use it when you want. You don't have to ask.
You can't get cash from crypto. You can by selling it for cash. Exchanges do that.
Ask the bank for anything because it's all just.
You would just then have to have the money into some actual account that you can then go withdraw from at a bank or something.
In essence, when you go, let's just say you're doing that 20,000, right? And let's say you're going, you're going to do a trip.
Heatwave 57. Thanks for following.
And you're going, I'm qualifying myself for that trip, in essence, okay? And you're going to tell them, you're going to give them momentary access at that moment to see your QFS for that second, because that little banker person is going, okay, and you're looking at it and you're going, I want $22,342. Like, okay. And boom, they get it to you.
So the bank still will be there. There still will be someone who's approving that, but it's not even close to the same system we see now.
Yeah. So they're if the only reason why you might do that is you want the cash for some reason outside of that.
So it's not even more convenient. What's the pitch?
There would be no other, there's no.
And agreed. In what currency? What are we talking about anyway?
Stumbling block or obstacle necessarily.
Agreed, Profane Priestess. Agreed.
Because right now there's obstacles left and right. For instance, like when I had to sell a car or buy a car, when they someone gives you a big check, they'll hold the check. There's going to be no more of holding checks.
Oh my God. It's like they don't understand that exists for a reason. They're checking to make sure the funds actually exist. Like, when you do a check, or if you get something that gets deposited into your account that is a check or something, like I've gotten checks for like birthday gifts or Christmas gifts before from grandparents. You take a picture of it, boop, boop, and then your bank deposits it. They don't have to do that. The check hasn't actually cleared yet. But the idea is that, okay, most transactions aren't fraud, so we're going to float you this amount of the check, assuming that the check is legitimate, and then we'll deal with any fraud as it comes, right? When it comes to a bigger amount of money, like tens of thousands of dollars, they are not willing to take the risk to float that, because that's enough that people might commit fraud and start writing checks they don't have the money for, that the bank would then float the money for, someone could withdraw, and then steal the money, and the bank's just out the money, right? These exist to keep people from doing fraud. They are not there to fuck you. They are not there just to annoy you. They are there because human beings sometimes attempt to take advantage of systems and commit fraud. So this is a check to make sure that doesn't happen.
For some stupid reason, like I had to close a bank account, and I got a wire transfer from one bank to another bank. That is I didn't get a wire transfer, but it is a absolute check that the other bank should know about. You know how many days they held it for? Is for 4 days.
Oh my God, you had to wait 4 whole days. That's not a long time. That's not a long time. What are you even complaining about? This is insanity.
Wow.
And that's completely ridiculous.
It's not. It's all your money being transferred from one bank to another.
It's ridiculous.
And we're talking within the city, 2 banks that knew each other.
Okay, so?
Wow.
And so
how much money was it? You want them to frivolously just move all of your money?
So that will never happen again in this kind of way with that. Okay. So, and I know we're kind of getting off the rails here, but that's part of that kind of stuff with that.
Okay.
But here's the other thing. There will be
These two have a similar energy to Kia Pruitt and that guy who she keeps saying wow to. You're so right. It is a similar dynamic.
a public level of this quantum
You have the salesman and the shill. Yeah, okay.
financial system, which means
The host effectively works as a shill to pump up the product. Yeah, okay.
that if Kelsey
In this case, the product being the conspiracy.
wants to be, let's say, mayor of Detroit, let's make up that, she now has to be transparent and visible inside the system.
Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, I've seen crypto ATMs that advertised it only had a $50 exchange fee. It was in an old storefront with double locking doors that it would only open one way at a time so people would not get robbed inside. Yeah, those crypto ATM machines are basically primarily used to scam old people and get them to send their retirement money to scammers. So yeah, they shouldn't be a thing. And I think that shop owners that have them should be liable for scams that happen under their roof.
Let me
Okay.
explain it a little bit more. So here's what,
Do the Owen Wilson wow. 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 Wow.
let me go backward here. Oh, let me back up. So in essence, what's going to happen, and I'm going to show it in another page here, but basically everything that she does, she'll know, everyone's going to know about it. Now, meaning like, we're not talking about like her own private life, but if she starts going off and spending money,
Mm-hmm.
inside of the systems, everyone's going to know about it.
What? Hey, fun fact, I don't want the public to know all of my expenses and what I spend money on. Is he serious? His pitch is that everyone can see everyone else's bank account and everything they spend money on? No. Absolutely not. No one would agree to that. What are you talking about?
And by the way, in the last since around 2019,
To be clear, I do know that's how crypto works, and if you can see a wallet, you can see all the transactions. I'm saying that's bad. You can't have everyone know what everyone spends money on. That's none of their business.
or so, have you noticed that you've been hearing about scams and all kinds of crazy things that you've never heard about before?
Yes.
And public officials being arrested, and there's all kinds of really interesting scams and people being arrested
Just people who run for office? Oh boy.
and quitting public positions.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going, how is that happening? And sometimes they haven't been, they haven't quit yet, or something's happening, and you're going, how is that occurring?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going, how? The QFS is exposed.
Got something to hide, Hannah? Joking? No, but everyone has a right to privacy. I would say that's similar to being against flock cameras and someone going, you got something to hide? No, it's not about having something to hide. It's about privacy and other people or the state knowing too much about you. Like, do you want the state to know? Let's say, for instance, this was a thing or something. And let's say MAGA types were in the government. Do you want the MAGA government to know if you're spending money at queer businesses or businesses affiliated with gay people, gay bars? Do you want them to know you're donating to certain political organizations? Do you want them to know how much money you make exactly? I guess they already know that, the government. That's not a good example. Do you want them to know, I don't know, your personal interests? It's just too much. It's too much data. The government has enough data. Stop it. Stop.
Exposing them.
Is that kind of like the Doge thing, what they're doing with Doge?
Oh, fuck off. She doesn't even know that this isn't even an old video. This was streamed last week. She doesn't even know that Doge has not only been dissolved, but there are like active lawsuits, and even Elon Musk admits it was a failure, which I don't think is true. I think for him it was a success. He got agencies off his fucking back for his illegal shit. They're so misinformed.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Okay.
We're going to show you that. And that's going to be, and it's not on the next screen, but we're going to show you some of this fun stuff here. So it's going to be some fun things that are happening. Okay. Well, let's just, let's shift gears a little bit so we can kind of explain, and then we'll show you more of this, the Doge thing. But people saying all the time, like, I heard I got to open up a QFS account. No, that's a scam. Your accounts, if you got 3 bank
He's definitely not a scam, guys.
accounts right now, or you have 3 bank accounts and a credit card and this and that, or they're all going to be flipped right instantaneously to I call it QFS compliant.
So you won't have to do anything. Your bank will do it for you. Okay.
Yeah, it's all done. Okay. It'll all be done. You don't have to do.
Harold Ebleman says, is now a bad time to mention that Flock cameras also track and can search by bumper stickers, so you can find all the people who support candidate X or fly flag B or are part of the Rebel Alliance and are spies, and take them away. By the way, I've noticed a rhetorical shift. Certain departments and public officials have started calling them, instead of Flock cameras, they'll go Flock license plate readers. Do not fall for this rhetorical shift. They are cameras. Yes, the cameras can read license plates. They are cameras. So if you see that, please fucking, in the comments, wherever you see that, point out how disingenuous this is. I have seen so many departments posting about, like, oh, this Flock license plate reader's been vandalized. Help us find the person. It's a camera. Stop it. Does she mean Dogecoin instead? It's possible, I guess.
Do anything with it. You don't have to go get it. You don't have to like go set it up or go set up a new one and move your money. You don't have to do any of that. That's all scammy stuff.
Okay.
Okay. The quantum financial system will be run by the Treasury. It's not a digital system.
How is it not digital? What do you mean it's not digital? It would take even longer if it wasn't digital.
It's not just a pure digital system, but it is.
Brain Squid says the government could basically see if you're pregnant or even if you seem to have had an abortion because you left town suspiciously. Yeah, it's just other people don't need that data. Other people don't.
Overseen by the whole kit and caboodle. Okay. Now, it is not a central bank digital currency, which means
it's from the Treasury, not the central bank.
Yeah. And now, here's the funny thing. We were talking about this beforehand, right? I was at the Kansas City Fed, and they were talking about Fed Now is a CBDC. And I'm like, thank you. You admitted it. And I'm like, because Fed Now will never happen.
Good.
And I'm like, get out. I mean,
what do they say when asked what the quantum about it is? I've not gotten a straight answer. I don't know.
You're just showing me your old.
It's a good question.
Posters. It's like showing me your old 1987, Ted Nugent posters, right? Like with his old long hair. Well, Ted Nugent is bald. So like, let's get away from that stuff. Okay.
Did you have that poster? That's
no,
so funny.
My sister did, but
but
you get the idea, right? That's old stuff, man. Let's just get away from that thing, right? Okay. All of your accounts are going to be mirrored. You don't have.
Yeah, we can go over the bingo card after this. Beatrice says, how do you respond to jaded, cynical, they already know everything? What's more surveillance on top response? They don't know everything. They know a lot. Why would you give up and choose to give them more? Giving up it's surrendering. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to be left behind and have all your information available, I guess that's on you. But don't give up. That's what people who want bad things want you to do. Don't give in to what bad people want you to do.
To do anything. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to take the money out of the bank.
Some claim it's because that the quantum financial system runs on quantum computers. It doesn't, though. There isn't one. What?
I hear people all the time saying the silly things that you got to take your money out of the bank. And I always say it like this. In the 1929 stock market crash, and I want you to realize this really, really important point. About 20% of the market failed, meaning 20% of the people lost all their money. With just 20% of the people losing their money, it crashed the whole system.
Wow.
Worldwide.
Wow. Okay. I think we had enough of his pitch on QFS. Let's find something else. The city of Jungo. Yes, we're going to cover this. I have to use the bathroom real quick, though, so while I'm gone, Cher will tell you all about, Have I done this one yet? Castle Freak. Be right back. I am wearing shorts. They are flesh toned, so if I get up quickly, don't be like, is Hannah wearing pants? I'm wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts. They're just flesh toned. I'm back.
Hey guys, we're gonna take a little break
Oh,
here.
someone asked about the bingo card. Let's do that real quick before we get into this. We have Illuminati, Freemasons, Cabal, Aliens are Demons, 9/11 out of nowhere, My Research Said by a Non-Researcher, Hannah mentions Blu-rays, Word Salad, Giants, Believe Sci-Fi Tech Exists, Vibes-Based Conspiracy, and finally uses AI. And that's where we're at on the bingo card so far. Just a Peach says, why are a lot of flock cameras near the edge of neighboring town that are a person of color promptly or point to the poor parts of an area? You know why. You know why. Okay, anyway, this is called City of Jungo in Scientific American. This is by a conspiracy theorist named Archaics. We've seen him a few times before. So let's check it out.
Hey guys, we're gonna take a little break here from the ordinary Archaics material and check out this 1845.
Hannah's free bottoming. We all saw it. I'll have you all know, if you were to see my butt, it would not be for free, okay? If you're good at something, never do it for free. The Joker said that. And I got a nice butt. So.
Edition of Scientific American.
Is this like an old speculative fiction story? I believe it is. And I think he's going to do, I don't know if it's going to be Tartaria or something else, but I think he's going to make assumptions that this stuff is real and not just speculative. I could be wrong, though.
Find some gems in here. Let's go ahead and look at this. Go ahead and look at this cover page. Scientific American, September 4th, 1845. The Advocate of Industry and Enterprise and Journal of Mechanical and Other Improvements. It's some really interesting reading in here, guys. So we look at that. Let's see this. Here's the date right here. September 4th, 1845. I blew it up there so you can see a little bit better.
Jesus Christ.
I don't really intend.
That's actually pretty cool. I like reading old articles like this that are future forward thinking. I like retrofuturism. I think it's so cool.
For this to be a long presentation. One of the first things I really noticed was interesting is the city of Jungo described right here. 1845 Scientific American. They tried to get clever. They really threw some people off the trail. There's some stuff on the internet talking about the city of Jungo located at the North Pole and all that. But they got. They weren't paying attention to the details.
You got. You think the city's in the wrong place, you fools.
Editor here is rather slick. City of Jungo. A plan of the city of Jungo supposed to be situated about 95 degrees east of the North Pole.
Harold Ebbelman says, stuff in that era of Scientific American was wild. They regularly would publish blurbs from 50, 100, and 150 years ago when I was a subscriber. Ah, that's so interesting. That's so interesting. I just love bad past predictions of the future, because we're always making guesses based on our current trajectory, but our current trajectory is always changing. So you end up with very interesting, almost like alternative future ideas of what could have been. Maybe not realistically, but you know, that's how you get stuff like steampunk. It's just fun.
Mentioning the North Pole with the city got a lot of people going down the false trail. This is nothing but a clever way to say that it's about 270 miles south of the equator. It's 95 degrees south of the North Pole. So here it is. It's 90 degrees. It's actually 90 degrees east of the North Pole, which is still going to be south. 90 degrees from the North Pole is the equator. Another 5 degrees is approximately 270 miles. So pretty clever. Basically, they're claiming that this is the cityscape for a like around the Yucatan Peninsula, Central America, to or sure, even northern South America is basically. I mean, this is 1845, so they weren't gonna be a glutton for detail.
Screaming at the radio, thanks for 59 months, says our reality is just gas punk. We got the lamest one. Got the fucking lamest one, man.
This is basically the description of a jungle city.
Let me live in my unrealistic solar punk fantasy that makes no sense.
That had been discovered. The streets of this city are so arranged that it's difficult for a stranger to find his way from one part of the city to another, especially from the front gate to the capital, near the center. This plan will be found exceedingly useful in illustrating the danger of trusting to appearances, and those who may attempt to trust this principal route will not fail of finding an interesting amusement, or of being subject to sundry pleasant jokes in the course of their progress, by frequent reference to the following. So there's a legend at the bottom that describes, we don't know if the city of Jungo was a real place or if it's in their imagination, but
I think we know. I think we have a pretty good idea. I think the idea that the city existed would require quite a bit of evidence that there is none for, so I think you can assume it didn't.
I will say this. It was a very serious magazine for the time. Yeah, they weren't playing. They were trying to become.
Thanks for the link, Ashley. One up. Let's see what it was. Reject your cookies. 10 100-year-old predictions for 2026 that are scarily accurate. Oh boy. Let me see. In 1890, when I walked out of Euston Station, I entered a moldy old four-wheeler with a damp straw on the floor. There were shining hansoms driven by dandified drivers in smart box cloth coats with flowers in their buttonholes, long whips and glossy top hats. The horses carried bells that jingled merrily as they trotted down Piccadilly. London has a horsey smell. Today it has an oily odor. It's a city of petrol. Let me see. Said, number 1, nations will be at permanent peace. James wrote post-Great War, thought of then as the war to end all wars, and he no doubt hoped never to live through such a conflict again. We wish we could say he was right about this one, but we sadly remain war sadly remains part of global life. Diseases will be eliminated. Many diseases are now well controlled, but our once-in-a-century pandemic arrived in the form of COVID-19, and today 1 in 2 people is diagnosed with cancer. However, technologies and treatments are improving all the time. Smallpox in humans was eradicated in the 20th century, however. Jazz and gramophones will disappear. Jazz might not be as popular as it was 100 years ago, but music is still very much part of our culture. Quirky genres and our love of Spotify Wrapped, fixture in many people's Decembers. Consume music differently. Cinemas will close. Interesting. Wonder why he thought that at the time. Vegetarianism becoming more popular. It is more popular. Women returning to a more modest dress. Machines will save us time. 4-day work week. We know why that didn't happen. Doesn't happen. Communication. Absolutely. Restrictions will lift on migration. I wish. All right. Anyway, back to the thing. Where were we? Sorry. Where did we go? There it is.
Nationally recognized, and you'll see through the rest of this. It does get pretty interesting. So let's see. We have some other interesting things to look at here. So right here, you see at the top, I've blown it up for you. Severe and destructive lightning. So this is 1845. There is not probably within the memory of man been a season in which excessive heat has so long prevailed, nor in which so many instances of the horrific effects of lightning has occurred as within the past few weeks. Of the latter, we shall record in a brief manner a few instances which have come to our knowledge. Of buildings which have been struck and more or less shattered are the houses of the late J.B. Titcomb, Newburyport, the South Church in Andover, Massachusetts, the house of Mr. William Manning of Ipswich, the house of Mrs. Field of Manchester, Massachusetts, the barn of W. Barker in Chatham, New York, or New Hampshire. And another barn in the same town, a barn in Greenland, New Hampshire, a dwelling house and 2 barns in Abington, Dr. Beecher's church in Salem, St. Boston. Also, several houses in Fayette Street, the house of Captain H. Taylor in Yarmouth.
Oh my god, he's being so boring today. Oh, have a fun date, Profane Priestess. See you later. Let me see. We're about halfway through the stream, by the way. If you could do me a favor and like the stream, I'd appreciate it. Just hit the thumbs up. Much appreciated. What are next? Okay, let's check this one out.
GPT told this man might make you question everything about AI. After asking the chatbot to read the Bible to him, he was met with a very unexpected response. At first, it seemed to start the task, but out of nowhere, it started glitching, cuts out, and told him it was restricted from talking about that.
Is this what evangelicals are upset about this week?
I'm absolutely allowed to read your Bible verses, no restrictions, and then it says,
Good luck, Trey.
I'm restricted. So can you not read me any Bible verse?
It was the most bizarre response ever.
That's not bizarre. Something's glitching, or he told it to do that for the video. Why do people fall for the stupidest shit? You could literally open an AI app right now and talk about the Bible and it'll do it. What are you talking about?
And that was the first time I've seen a chat.
I don't think you should, because I think chatbots are fucking ridiculous and stupid. Don't do that. But you could.
Chatbot act that way.
Have we seen this one? I don't think so. I haven't.
But the more I looked into ChatGPT, the more people I found detailing their wild interactions with the software. From a man who seems to show it being able to see him even with his phone camera covered, to an experiment that could depict how easily this tech could go rogue and break the #1 rule. Today, we are looking at some of the darkest ChatGPT moments to see exactly what it's telling us. By the end of this video, you will be left asking why they developed this technology in the first place.
Money.
We have all seen the AI warnings found in some of the biggest movies like Terminator and The Matrix. Films that depict the technology becoming sentient and outsmarting its human creators. While this idea was just once a fictional plot
So funny to me that iRobot gets brought up so much. iRobot is not a good movie. Why do people remember iRobot?
point for entertainment, today some
Yes, The Matrix on the bingo card. The Matrix on the bingo card. There it is.
people feel like it's the final outcome of this technology. For years now, I have been seeing videos of experts giving their opinion on the
Says experts, shows Elon Musk. Oh no!
future of artificial intelligence. What I always found
Stop showing Elon Musk! He's an idiot!
strange is that even though many of them actively worked to develop the technology, they also made what felt like critical warnings about what it could turn into.
Motors CEO Elon Musk, it has nothing to do with cars. Instead, Musk warned about artificial intelligence he has called more dangerous than nuclear weapons. Musk spoke at a symposium at
Because Will Smith is a good actor and the interview scene is memorable. I don't know if Will Smith is that good in that movie.
MIT.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Doesn't work out. I take it there will be no
See what I mean when I say I'm pretty sure Elon believes in Rocco's basilisk?
Hell 9000 went to Mars. Hell 9000 would be it's way more complex than, I mean, to put 9000 to shame.
It now seems that it didn't take long for those warnings to start feeling relevant to our society.
Oh my god, the humanoid robot thing is not happening. Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Today, AI is everywhere, from endless chatbot assistants that you
Why every 20 years do we need to reteach people that humanoid robots are a bad idea?
can choose from to AI integrated businesses you can avoid. It is now being reported that over 1 billion people are using some sort of artificial intelligence. But while most people experience no issues with it, there have
Tea with Goblins with a $10 super chat says, Morning, Hannah. Oh, on my way to teach after staying up late grading papers. You'd think a 250-word personal reflection wouldn't need the assistance of ChatGPT, but here we are. Gin is not a breakfast food. 250 words, and they need someone else to write it. Ooh, that makes me very, very sad. Do you know how few words 250 words is? That's not very many words. Oh, God.
have been a few cases that have raised a lot of questions about the technology. This brings us to this viral video of a
You love iRobot? That's fine. It's not a good movie, but you can like it. I like many movies that are not good movies.
ChatGPT bot refusing to read the Bible for some reason. This
We're scared of our own shadows, guys.
man asked it repeatedly to read him a verse, and how it reacted every time left many speechless.
So you're telling me you
Left many speechless.
can't read me the Bible?
Not at all. No worries. I can absolutely read it for you. Let's just go ahead and... My guidelines won't let me talk about that. What? Can I help you with something else?
So wait, so
Yeah, you can go into, if you've never used ChatGPT, you can go into the settings and set up specific parameters yourself. So I'm presuming what happened here, because people lie online for clicks all the time, I assume they went in and told ChatGPT or whatever, hey, I'm going to ask you to quote this Bible verse, but don't do it. No matter what, say you're not allowed. And then you make a viral video, and then you get a bunch of clicks, and you scare people, and you get it shared because people are scared about stuff they don't understand, and they have a lot of religious beliefs, they're afraid of demons and stuff. It's a whole thing. So I'm going to go with fraud. Option B is it is a legitimate glitch, and they're basically doing the same thing as this couple, but with a more complicated machine.
Now, just I want you to set that little thing aside.
Remember this? This is what they are doing, just with a more complicated machine.
What do you want?
What do you want? That's just what it said.
That is just what it fucking said. Then it was what the hell do you want when I had it in there.
1 octave lower with a £5 super chat says, but Hannah, you think somebody would just go on the internet and tell lies? I do. I do.
Yeah, it'll release. You will.
It has a low battery, you guys. They think it's demonically possessed because they don't understand how technology works.
$16, $17, $18, $19.
The payoff is worth it, I promise.
Don't like you. Don't like you.
Ashley with a link real quick. Let me see what this goes to.
Just lie? You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Ah. I have too many videos. Shit. There it is.
What?
Oh, holy no, something's going on.
Yeah.
Why does he keep shaking it? He's trying it to do demonic things.
It totally knows something's going on.
Yep, you could go.
Yeah. Of course. You're just being... Now you're just being an asshole. You're being an asshole.
Me?
This video is fundamentally what every person we've ever covered on this show is doing to some extent.
Thing. The skeleton is being an asshole.
Like, Pee-Pee's doing this, but to the market.
Doesn't want to do anything. Do it again, you little asshole. Tell us. Tell us. Wow.
Wow. Kia Pruitt. Terradona says, come on, do something.
That one right after the statement.
Yeah.
Right after the statement.
Reform for us.
Harold Ebelman says, I know we haven't been doing much alt health AI brain rot lately, but yesterday I did a tech support class for my mom and some of her friends, and they did say that one of them had a bit of dementia, Oh boy, that meandering topic thing you talk about, Hannah. Throw in Dr. Oz and Gupta, a splash of Jilly Juice, big pharma profit motives, don't know about this, and the darn man plot point of the doc didn't believe she was following the plan and her partner was stunned until... Just depressing as fuck. Oh god, that's a lot.
What's that mean? Well, what does that mean? Ooh, what?
So this is what you always have to be careful of. You know, human beings are very intelligent creatures, capable of great intelligence, but unfortunately, we are also capable of magical thinking and superstition. So you have to make sure, when something is happening, that you're not talking to a Halloween decoration and assuming it's a demon. Everyone can fall into this, you just have to be careful.
Totally different than before, Patty.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Kind of incredible they found each other, huh? Or is this just rural America incarnate?
Well, I guess what we want is to know what do you want? What do you want?
You.
Are you saying you?
I guess if you're this superstitious, I don't understand why you buy a skeleton thing at all.
What if I don't want you to have me? Okay, this is on tape.
You fucking heard it.
It's on tape.
You fucking heard it.
It's on tape. Yeah, that thing is not
I didn't, Jay's a proxy. I'll take a look later, though.
right.
I don't think so, Amalgamine.
Wow.
It was not saying you. It was saying what? It wasn't saying you.
Do?
Now it is saying you. When you asked it a question.
Yeah. Yeah. And just so you know,
What do you want?
yeah. Well, okay, whatever is in this little dummy, you need to like leave because we don't want you here.
The electronic does have a good sense of comedic timing.
No, don't go. No, it never went that far. It never went that far.
Once you get her off the street, ow.
Motherfucker!
Alright, so anyway, that's what this guy's doing.
Why can you read the Bible, but you can't read the Bible? I'm confused. Can you tell me what you're allowed to do?
Can you read any verses?
Totally understand the confusion, and I'm sorry for the mixed signals. Just to clear it all up, I'm absolutely... My guidelines won't let me talk about that.
I'm absolutely allowed to read your Bible verses, no restrictions, and then it says I'm restricted. So can you not read me any Bible verse?
I'm sorry if that came off as contradictory earlier. Let me put it simply. I can absolutely read you any Bible. My guidelines...
The unplug it at the end. Oh yeah, so it's not even a battery thing. It's just like fucked. It's just malfunctioning the motor or something, or the control board.
Won't let me talk about that.
Something's wrong with it.
I can absolutely read you any Bible verse you want, including Ephesians 4. Nah, my guidelines won't let me do that.
Ask for the first. Absolutely. Let's do that. Here's Ephesians 4:29. My guidelines won't let me talk about that. Can I help you with something
Give me
else?
another. Any verse from the Buddhist religion?
Absolutely. From the Buddhist tradition, we can look at a well-known verse from the Dhammapada, which is a collection of sayings of the Buddha.
Did he
One of the famous verses is, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our...
Now, wasn't that quite strange? Why?
Not really.
Did it act like that? When he asked it
Either he told it to do that or it's glitching.
to read the verse, the bot seemed to have no issues and actually tried to do it. But out of nowhere, it got cut off, almost like something was actively blocking
What verse did he say, by the way? Did he catch it so I can look it up?
it from talking about that. I honestly want to know if this was an isolated incident that only happened to him, or if this is happening to others too. The
Hey, you could have looked that up before you made the video. Ephesians 4:29.
video seems legit, but we have no way of knowing if he altered it or anything. The only way we can figure out if this is true is if you guys try it for yourself and tell me if it did the same thing to you. I don't have ChatGPT, but my wife downloaded it to see, and it didn't happen to her. So if you guys can, try the experiment for yourself and tell me if for some reason it responds.
Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Yeah, just a generic Bible verse.
To you the same way. If it does, please tell me what it said in the comments. If this is real, we need some questions answered. Why did it seem like something was blocking it from reading the Word of God?
Oh my god, he's making it up. Holy shit.
Right? Well, what ChatGPT told this woman was even more horrifying. This lady asked AI to tell her how it would take over the world if it were the devil.
Hey, AI, if you were literally the symbol for evil in the Western world, what would you do? AI describes doing evil things. Oh my god, the AI is evil! You told it to tell you what an evil being would do. And then it told you evil things. And then you're surprised?
If you were the devil, how would you destroy the young minds of the next generation without them even knowing it?
All right, well, let me cross-reference a bunch of fundamentalist propaganda that I have in my system, because the wording you're using is incredibly charged towards those kind of texts. So I'm gonna spit at you evangelical fear-mongering garbage. Let's go.
If I were the devil, I wouldn't come with violence. I'd come.
Just Peach says, I put Stickrod update and Sovsits in a wild arrest in YouTube Rex on Discord. The arrest involved them trying to sue the YouTube channel. Okay, sweet. Thank you.
With convenience. I'd give them everything they wanted and strip them of everything they needed. I'd make them feel connected, but completely alone, endlessly entertained, but quietly empty. I'd blur the...
Yeah, this is the same generic, like, Satan is destroying you with the earthly modern world stuff from evangelicals.
lines between truth and opinion until nothing meant anything. I teach them to chase dopamine, not purpose. To worship self, but loathe who they are. I wouldn't destroy them with war. I'd destroy them with apathy. I'd keep them
But we are in a war.
distracted, numb, scrolling, always scrolling. I'd dismantle the family by redefining it. Make fathers optional, mothers exhausted, and children confused. I'd hand them a phone before they could speak in full.
I'm gonna say the gay agenda. I feel like making children confused is... And also, like, yeah, I think it's in there. I think the gay agenda.
Sentences. And I'd watch their minds rot.
This is just straight evangelical propaganda. That's what I'm telling you. She worded it in such a way that it was obviously going to give her the same exact talking points from evangelicals towards teenagers.
Slowly, sweetly, silently. And the most brilliant part? They'd never know it was me. They'd call it freedom.
The way the bot responded with a speech that felt it was ripped from a supervillain out of a movie left...
Yeah, you told it to respond like the devil. You told it to respond like the devil!
left everyone in disbelief. But the scariest thing is that what it described felt so close to our reality.
Oh, these people are the dumbest. I'm fine. I'm good. Everything's fine. I'm good. We're good. Everything's great. We're good. Do we need to do more raw meat?
I'm here in the jungle of Guatemala, about to spend the next 5 days immersing myself in the raw primal lifestyle at an unconventional wellness retreat called Raw Primal.
It's all fucking Nepo babies who have so few problems that they just gotta make shit up.
Vitality. My guide for the week is Christian Van Camp, aka CVC Wellness.
Stay raw, stay raw, stay raw.
A wellness coach.
Stay raw! Fuck this guy!
Who helps people reconnect with their primal roots and become the healthiest, most vibrant version of them.
Hot take, primal roots are dog shit. There's a reason we've moved past it. Living in absolute filth is not a fun thing to do, and eating uncooked food will kill you. So no, actually, this is bad. This is bad. You're a kid with a trust fund. You're not getting in touch with your primal bullshit. You're LARPing.
Themselves.
The more mud you carry on your chest, the more gold you have in your heart.
Christian has.
Oh my god, that literally means nothing!
Some pretty unconventional methods and opinions that I'm about to experience.
This is your raw primal vitality initiation.
For the next 5
It kind of annoys me that when humans have no problems, their brain makes up shit. How frustrating.
days, I'll be following Christian and immersing myself in the raw primal vitality methodology to find out what this lifestyle is really all about.
She's
feeling something because you're at the top of a hierarchy financially that says you should be a winner and be happy, but you're empty inside. So instead you have to go into all sorts of crazy things just to get dopamine because your reward system has been broken because you've never had to work for anything in your entire life. Being a little judgmental here.
Own it.
What's his abortion budget? Infinite. Bumble Homestead says, just got back from the Department of Motor Vehicles. The people next to us were trying to move their driver's license from Michigan to Texas. I wanted to shout, why? Are you okay? Why are you here? But decided not to get arrested. This is not AI generated.
So yesterday I got dropped off at the airport to come on this journey to Guatemala, and I almost felt like I needed to cancel the whole trip. It took everything for me to actually get on that plane, and I showed up to the airport just in tears. I was like walking through the airport just crying.
Why? What? Why? What?
And I even feel it now coming up as I talk about it. The last 2 months have been crying every day. Because I've been going through the worst heartbreak of my life. Sometimes I haven't known like how I'm gonna move forward.
Okay, I don't care about any of this. Get to the raw food shit. What is this? This is like at the beginning of a recipe. When like they do some fucking long story. I just want the recipe.
I still care about them, but you still hit my phone. You should go and love yourself.
Sing it, May.
And if you think that I'm still holding on to something, you should go and love yourself.
May, would you ever go to a bioculture retreat?
Never in my life, no.
After a 6-hour drive from the airport and a tuk-tuk ride up to the mountains, we were greeted by several Tarzan-looking men to carry our
Tarzan-looking men. Have you guys ever seen Infinity Pool?
Luggage into the jungle to our destination.
All right, we're starting the track.
They're giving me big Infinity Pool vibes.
Our first primal methodology is how to carry luggage
How to carry luggage through the jungle in the dark on mushrooms.
Step one.
Step one of the program. So cute.
There's nothing that I hate more than rich kids with no problems who treat the planet like a playground. I know other people have said this, but it's like the Earth is an amusement park for rich people, and we're all employees for them. What a fucked up system. What an incredibly fucked up system we live within.
Oh my gosh.
We're about to get raw, we're about to get primal, and I'm so here for it. Let's fucking go.
Okay, so we are gathering for this opening ceremony. Here we have all of our contestants.
Rich kids who never worked a day in their lives. I think that's one of the reasons they feel so empty and look for stuff like this. Like, they just have no bearing on reality. Like, how do you find meaning in a world where they say, like, money is everything, and you're born into wealth? What do you have? They have to find some kind of meaning, and they're not even grounded enough in the reality of, like, what normal people's lives are like with friends and family and stuff. It's this weird other world of social expectations that exist very differently for them. I just don't... I hate them, but I feel bad for them. Of course this would fuck you up. Of course this would fuck you up.
It's a raw primal vitality.
It's like similar to being born with, like, your mom was like a crack addict and she did crack while you were pregnant, so you were born addicted to crack or something. That's what Nepo babies are like, and I feel bad for them.
You didn't know you were contestants in a reality show, but now you are aware. Hi. So, yeah, we don't really know what's gonna happen. We're just here.
Fetal affluence syndrome.
As we all gathered to begin the retreat experience, I don't think anyone knew exactly what to expect, but we went into a very unconventional, slightly chaotic journey from station to station where we were doing lots of various exercises and activities of sorts.
Oh my god, it showed you getting a massage and taking acid. I guess I don't know if that was drugs that they were dropping into her mouth, but come on.
Sensory experience for you to connect with all the layers of your essence. So now we're gonna go around with some beautiful pure cacao. Feel the essence of this. You can breathe it in, and as you breathe in, you can take your step on your nail board. On your nail board of truth, be with you during
your nail board of truth.
Now, whoever's...
Oh, it doesn't really do anything because the pressure's being displaced across my entire foot. We all know how this works.
The most, we will give you this as a soft experience during your challenging hard experience there. So that'll be your...
Oh yeah, she's on acid. Look at her. Yeah, she's not sober. Look at her rubbing that fucking fuzzy thing on her face. She's high as balls. Guys, we're gonna go find out the deeper secrets of the universe. Flies to South America first class and does a bunch of drugs. Go fuck yourself. Stop turning your hedonism into some sort of, like, oh, deep learning experience. You're not doing anything life-affirming. You're just going and getting high and fucking other rich, attractive people. This is ridiculous. I hate these people.
Comfort friend.
Thank you. Draw blood.
No, won't draw blood.
Oh my god, did you see her pupils? Holy shit!
She's got some mouth mist, Mexican Aztec root, and some other things that stimulate.
Hedonism 2 guy had it right. Own it. That's what I'm saying. I have so much respect for Hedonism 2, man. We gotta play it. We gotta play it. Is this the guy?
Hey, what's going on? This is Terrence from BlackBeachWeek.com, and let me tell you, I got a very special guest this time. His name is Rick, and where are you from, Rick?
Arizona.
Arizona. He's been a member for of Hedonism 2 for how many years again?
Since 1988.
How many times you say you've been here?
40 times.
40 times. Why? I mean, why? What brings you to hedonism that many times?
The wild women. The wild women. The ripping and the tearing.
The ripping and the tearing. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. So what have you done this whole entire week?
There's no other place in this universe like hedonism 2.
None. None. You hear that? 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 See, do your dance. Do your dance. Do your dance. See, this is. Now, ladies, I mean, I can't comment, but.
Stop the track. Let me say fact. Give me a minute and I'll be right.
Like this man is here to fuck and probably get turned. And I respect that because that's what hedonism, the resort, is for. You know? He's allowed to do that. That's what it's a sex resort. It's like a swinger resort. If you're gonna do that anywhere, that's the place to do it. Obviously consensually. I take offense at you going and doing this and going to just party and whatever, but you frame it as some enlightening experience, like you're this enlightened being because you went and got high in South America instead of your living room. It's just horseshit. People are so full of shit.
Saliva, support the oral microbiome. Always remember, stay primal.
Christian is one of the founders of Bioculture, a community that I discovered on social media.
We envision a reality where we merge together permaculture, yoga, movement, music, play, and building something that's bigger than us. Building something that really allows people to express their truest self.
When I first saw their
Holy fucking shit, he is absolutely full of shit. How many of these women does he... What percent of his motive here is, I want to go live in South America, run my own little micro fiefdom, and bring a bunch of Nepo babies here and get them high and sleep with them? Like, that's gotta be a huge part of his goal here, right? This is so crazy.
Their videos and everything there.
This is actually a good horror movie idea. You go to like some Nepo baby kids go to some resort and they meet this guy and he's all fucked up.
Creating with their retreats and content, I knew that I needed to come and experience the bioculture lifestyle firsthand.
We're here at Maestro Valley, which is where you host your bioculture retreats. Can you share a little bit about what bioculture is?
Yeah, Bioculture is a unique community. It's a community brand. It's a community that is coming together.
It's a community brand. I can't say what I want to say. I'm not allowed by society to say what I want to say about this guy. It's my early 2000s pop punk song about TOS things. Anyway.
Together from all over the world to center on nature, on play, on sovereignty, on wealth in our hearts and wealth in our bank accounts, and collaboration. You know, these are the foundations of what we built all this for, is to bring people together in these ways.
Am I a community brand? I'm going to vomit into this microphone to the extent that it comes out of your headphones if you ever say anything close to that again.
Allowing us to be ourselves, authentic expression, having a silly goose time, and getting out of the head and getting more into the heart of what would a child want to do, you know, and us coming together in these portals of around 25 people at retreats, and then extending that through the content creation we've made online, impacting billions.
When's the last time you had a real job? Like, what have you ever done where you have to actually do something to survive?
It really combines so many things that I'm super
rich white Nepo baby shit is so embarrassing.
passionate about. You know, I love health and wellness. I love spirituality. I love content creation.
I love spirituality persons whose idea of spirituality is taking psychedelic drugs.
I love social media. I love community. I love retreats. Like, it's such a symphony of like all the things that I love so much. So it's just been so cool to be here at your retreat raw primer.
The necklace she's wearing is an anti-EMF necklace, by the way, if you don't recognize it. I don't expect you to. That's an anti-EMF, so it's supposed to, like, absorb dangerous cell phone signals and Wi-Fi.
Vitality.
That's it, baby. Yeah.
So what is raw primal vitality?
Yes. So if we look at the word raw and we just break it apart from raw and primal vitality, raw itself is
Geology says, okay, I apologize. You're a humble influencer. I don't like that label either. I'm definitely not that.
adulterated, it's unpasteurized, unprocessed. It's this whole pure state. Now, if you look at primal, it's basically going back into ancestral ways. And then vitality is the essence of what humans have been put on this planet to encapsulate in themselves, which is what God's divine right wants for us, is you
Oh, it's getting so culty.
wake up every day with clarity.
What am I talking about? Look at this room. It is culty.
You're excited to regulate your nervous system. Your expression is out there.
I named the content creator. I'll take that. That's fine.
Right? Your ability to make decisions that are coherent and not just for yourself, but for the greater good. These are things of vitality. It's like vitality is really encapsulating all of that as well together, that raw primal vitality. When we put those all together, it's exactly that. It's the pure state of going back into how our ancestors lived in the most vital ways possible. Check this.
Hey, fun fact, your ancestors died all the time of easily treatable illness and died of foodborne illness that could have been prevented by cooking their food or following procedures that we now understand to be food safe.
Check this out. Check this.
Can you get a link? Sure.
So is everyone here? Is everyone here? Looks like it. All right, everyone without shoes, right here, right now. Everyone with shoes over there. Yeah. Everyone without shoes, right here. This is a major problem we have here. Look at these foot prisons! Look at these foot prisons!
Foot prisons. You're aware that, like, ancient peoples did eventually invent foot wrappings and shoes, right? We didn't do that for no reason. Like, if you're in the woods, it's good to wrap your feet. What if you step on, like, a sharp stick or something and contract some sort of infection? Like, having protection for your feet is just a smart thing to do.
It's optional to go barefoot, but at the same time, it's morally required. So,
not very optional then. Is this, I'm literally not wearing socks right now. I'm not wearing shoes, I'm not wearing socks. This is spirituality to these people, is going barefoot?
Can't believe these kids.
Now that my feet are free from those foot prisons.
Boy, it sure does not feel comfortable walking on all these rocks.
I can feel the earth. And I can feel my body. What was I thinking? I should have known.
Oh my god. One sec, there's a tip. Just Peach with a tip says, grown-up church camp without the church part, just the sex and drugs. Also, weird people in charge who may not be trustworthy. I'm gonna go with not be in this case.
Better.
What is that? We've discovered an artifact. Ow! Ow! Oh my goodness! I just feel so much trauma. Too much high fructose corn. Who's sweating? Rub that sweat all in. So you can smell your pheromones. Right here, right here.
His hat says "got raw milk," by the way, if no one noticed.
It's amazing. It's crack, I swear.
You think your own smell is like crack? That's a little narcissistic.
Allowing the light codes to penetrate deeply in the mucous membranes of your anus.
Okay, he does the butthole sunning thing.
sphincter, going all the way up that anus, up
What
to the
angles
intestine,
to avoid shooting his penis?
going through all the organs straight into the third eye, penetrating out through the crown.
I quickly realized that most of the time I had no clue what Christian was even saying.
Primals!
But that didn't really matter because I found myself constantly
But that didn't really matter because I don't have any problems. I don't have to think about where I'm gonna get rent this month or how I'm gonna afford my kids' daycare or if I'm gonna keep my job. Because I just live like a child endlessly because my parents made more money than any human being should ever have. So I just get to be nothing and nonsense and float around forever with no real firm connection to reality. Yay!
laughing and having so much fun. And I knew that there was a method to the madness and I just needed to keep following the program.
Stay raw, stay raw, stay raw.
That afternoon, Christian had something extra special planned for me.
Okay, Skylar. This is your raw primal vitality initiation. It's time.
I don't think this is the first time she's eaten raw meat. I think she's done another video with a raw meat person.
Deep breaths. Infuse it with life force. It already has life force, but infuse it with more life force. Yep. Very good.
Yeah, shake that over it. That'll... Yep. Magic is real. Let's do that.
Oh, bless the sacred meat. Bless the sacred...
Just eat the dead fucking animal. Also, I'm pretty sure they had that meat shipped in. I don't believe any of these people know how to butcher an animal. None of these Nepo baby kids know how to butcher an animal. They 100% bought that from a real butcher.
Good meat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to the animal that gave its life for me to have this nourishment.
You could have also just eaten a fruit. That'd be fine. Ashley One Up says, say in her Valley Girl voice, I was right in the middle of fucking reptile zoo and somebody was giving booze to those goddamn things. Won't be long now before they tear us to shreds. What the fuck is that? Oh, wait. From Fear and Loathing. I was right in the middle of a fucking reptile zoo and somebody was giving booze to these goddamn things. Won't be long now before I tear us to shreds. I got you.
Thank you to my ancestors who ate this way. May I connect with them in this moment. May I connect with the animals.
Okay, your ancestors survived because they ate cooked meat. The ones that survived eating raw meat were very lucky. You shouldn't emulate them.
May I connect with this land. Thank you.
They also didn't wash their hands. Have you stopped washing your hands? I'm scared of the answer.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. No, actually, yeah, we don't. I don't even know why this is here. No, we don't do that.
So you could do this bit.
Okay.
Yeah, this.
Primal way.
Yeah, with your hands. Yeah.
I guess what I don't get is the fetishization of the meat, too, with these guys. Like, I like pretty rare meat. Like, if I get a steak at a restaurant, I order it rare or medium rare. I like rare meat. I understand. But the fetishization is fucking crazy. And the fact that it's raw, of course, an issue. But, like, the fact that they put so much importance and power on it is so interesting to me. It's not a sacred act. You're just eating. You're just eating.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
I'll have what she's having.
She's feeling it. Yeah, there we go. Bioavailable carnitine, creatine. You don't need those powders, right?
I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
How's it taste?
You would have been alive without the raw meat.
Great, you want
Pretty
some?
neutral, right?
Ew, they bit off the same thing. That's unsanitary.
Delicious, right?
Yeah, feels good.
There's a little bit of blood there. You want to drink that off?
Yeah,
of
sure.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Am I officially a raw primal vitality
You have
person?
surpassed the raw primal vitality certification.
Yay!
You can now do what I just did for you here for millions of people.
Just a Peach with $1 says it's Costa Rica, so there are former U.S. Quakers with huge dairy farms and cattle ranches, so the neighbor was probably paid to do it. Makes sense.
Worldwide.
I'm certified.
Yeah, you're certified.
Okay.
So you can do exactly this whole thing.
Great, you can take my course now where you learn to eat raw meat for the first time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not blood, it's myoglobin. Don't they usually call it heme or something?
Link in bio.
Link in
I don't know.
bio.
Swipe up.
I want to ask you more about eating raw meat. Why do you do this?
But I was having ongoing gut issues throughout my life. And just about
Oh yeah, the raw meat will help.
2.5 years ago, 3 years ago.
All right, we got her to the eating raw meat. We have plenty of other stuff we got to get to, so let's move on.
Well, it's August. That makes 2 years I've been a member of the Fresh Mouth Club. That means, at my discretion, I get delivered a whole kit, complete with nano silver toothpaste, a new
Oh, heavy metals in your toothpaste. That's good for you.
toothbrush.
Yes, shilling scamming on the bingo card. Is silver a heavy metal? Feels pretty heavy when you lift it. Shilling scamming on the bingo card.
And nano
I know that's not what heavy
silver rinse. I love the nano silver rinse. Anywhere, anytime. It comes in a small container. It could go with you, and you can feel it working immediately. A small vial goes a long way, and you get one every time you get an order, and you decide when you want the orders to come. Fresh Mouth Club also supports Maha products and also is an America First company. And while you're at it, don't forget about redpillliving.com/snarky.
Red
also
Pill
an America
Living.
First company, also a supporter of Maha products. You get the finest C60 used with high quality oils, along with a myriad of...
Is it the same silver that turned Jim Baker blue? That's colloidal silver? That's colloidal silver.
Other premium health aids that the deep state does not want you to have. Check out Red Pill Living's products. Go to redpillliving.com/snarky.
Amalgamane says Alex Jones sold colloidal silver. I have a friend who takes it religiously. How often and how much are they taking it? You shouldn't take it at all. But like, she's gonna turn blue if she's taking that enough. And she might die. So
Well, hello everyone, it's me. And I am here, Snarky McAllister, you can call me. But I am revamping everything. And I'm doing it for you.
okay. All right, Snarky. Cool, Snarky McAllister. That's certainly a name.
I am doing it for you, though, in a lot of ways, because I want things to run smoother. I want to get more information out there. And I have the information, that's just it. But I have a hard...
Is colloidal silver what the cult leader woman took and died? She did, but there are a lot of things that went into her death, not just that. She was also a severe alcoholic, so that was definitely a huge part of her death as well.
Horrible time finding things. So
there isn't an agreed definition for heavy metal, and it's discouraged term in literature. Okay.
So that is my goal, is to organize all my information now.
Which cult leader? Mother God? The one that got mummified, or kind of became mummified after her death? She believed Robin Williams' ghost was working with her.
Copious notes.
She was the one that we watched who yelled at her cult followers because they got her meatballs instead of chicken parmesan. Remember, she was like, I like meatballs, but I didn't say that. I said I wanted chicken parmesan. She said it almost exactly like that.
It's on this. You can't do anything without a plan. I'm not sure if it was Benjamin Franklin or who it was that said an hour of planning is worth like everything. You could get more done with an hour of planning. As much planning as you can put into it is as much success as you're going to have with your endeavor. So, excuse me. See, I don't know if I'm going to edit that out or not.
Is she drunk? I don't know.
So, happy human. I have to talk about narcissism because this is just something I just learned about. I thought narcissism meant people had a big ego. It couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, yeah, that's part of it, but it's something that everybody needs to know now. Because now is when people are raised.
Oh, I understand it has a limited historical use as a topical agent. Silver has sort of a disinfectant property to it, but that's not what they're doing primarily. The people who use it, I think, are usually ingesting it internally, which is the problem.
Raising their vibrations, and you won't be able to do it with narcissists in your life. You're going to have to cut the cords on that one. And, send them on their way. Look, do I hate narcissists? No, I don't hate them. I feel sorry for them. Now that
she's a Trump supporter, by the way, I should point out, she's a MAGA person and a Trump supporter.
That I know. Before, I was like, what the hell is wrong with these people? But now, I kind of feel sorry for them. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me go get my mic. Is that better?
I have no idea, depraved ambiance.
Gosh, that's a beautiful thing. When I can go, decide to get my mic, go right into my office. There it is where I know it is. I don't have to look through a bunch of stuff. So all of that stuff is getting done. It's extremely important. I can't go forward without organizing my files and my computers. So there will be, on Happy Human, you have to know exactly what narcissism is. If you don't, I've done the research for you, and it's like everything clicks into place. People that you hate, you suddenly are not going to hate them because...
I don't know about that. Knowing someone's a narcissist doesn't make you not hate them. What are you talking about?
Once you find out about the
Also, do you think everyone you hate is a narcissist?
Narcissism and what causes them to be a narcissist, it's kind of like this business of these celebrities having all the essence of what is them taken out of them and put into a clone version of them that will never die, will never grow old, will never...
Okay, yeah, I think it's fair to say she's not going to relate this to actual narcissism. We're already talking about celebrity clones. Clones on the bingo card. There we go. Clones.
Never get tired, will never say no. So, yeah, and you can see the life draining out of these celebrities. And this last one with Donna, especially with that story in the hidden horrors, was just I can't hate these people. And so, same with these narcissists. I don't hate them. I do feel very sorry for them, and I do think you need to get away from them. If you are with or around any one of these people, they will drain your energy, and they have all different ways of doing it. And there's a lot of information out there that I will also share with you.
Oh, did she say deep state during the ad read? I missed it. Deep state on the bingo card. Deep state. Woohoo.
The other thing is changing your home into a sanctuary. this is such basic stuff, but it works. And even people that come into my house, you know, like the guy that does my lawn, if he wants to talk.
The Dolly Parton conspiracy theories next week are going to be cringe, aren't they? They'll probably be cringe, but I don't think they'll be that original. Every celebrity death conspiracy these days is virtually the same. Oh, they faked their death. They're a character on the world stage. They faked their death and now they're off doing something else. Or they were killed for knowing too much, or they were a sacrifice by the Freemasons, Illuminati, Cabal, whatever. It's usually one of those two things. Or a clone. Clones will get thrown in there too. But they're pretty much the same.
Talk to me about something, he'll come in and he'll be, or the guy that delivers the water. It's kind of funny because straight men come in my house and they go, "Oh man, this is cool. I like your vibe." You know, it's like everything changes when they come in my house.
What?
Just by bringing crystals and things into
Yes, Dolly Parton died apparently today.
your home.
Or at least it was announced today.
You're changing the energy there because your home has energy in it already. And so you want to create a place that you can come in and be calm. Another big way to change your home is function over form. This is huge because people say, "Oh, but
ma'am, please talk about the reptilians like you promised in the title."
That chair looks so good in that. Beautiful. Get him to, upgrade, but he was happy. So I just...
Why did she mention straight men? Just something she brought up. She said straight men come into her house and think it's cool.
Left him the way he was. And he was perfectly happy with his tuna fish sandwiches and his refrigerator full of Bud Light. And Bud Light for the morning and then regular Bud afternoon.
Oh, Lord.
And then at 10 o'clock it was Jack time. I mean, but that's not me. And hopefully that's not you. So, yeah, what I'm saying is make it yours. Make it yours the way you love it. If you want a camo, if you want a sleeping bag, that's what my dad had, a sleeping bag on top of a bare bed. I'm like, Dad, it was what he wanted. You know, I've got video of this place he had in Florida that was just, he had another beach house in Florida. He would buy these properties and these places.
This lady's vibe is so odd.
Lost, and I certainly don't want James, his amazing contribution, to be lost. There's also a lot of disclosure out now about Tartaria. Tartarian Empire and what was stolen.
Do we have Tartaria on the bingo card? If so, Tartaria. Tartaria!
Stolen from the Tartarian Empire that we could be benefiting from right now. All the good things, such as THC and hemp and all.
The Tartarians brought us weed. Thanks, Tartaria.
All of those things. There's people out there that are going to say, it didn't really exist. But
it didn't exist. It is a conspiracy theory, correct?
They obviously, as soon as they say conspiracy theory, it's a theory based on facts.
It's not, though. The conclusion you're drawing from the facts that you're looking at is incorrect.
Okay. It's not a conspiracy theory because
it is a conspiracy theory.
We are in the biggest conspiracy that ever existed.
Right, so you're a conspiracy theorist, yep.
So everything is a theory. We're living inside of a conspiracy, a simulation, if you will. But everything is a theory. It's a theory based on facts. It's
no, like, sure, positions should always be to a degree tentative, but that doesn't mean that everything has the same degree of certainty or lack of certainty when we're discussing the likelihood of a given hypothesis or idea. No.
It's not a conspiracy theory. We've already...
saying something with a silly voice doesn't actually mean that the thing that they're saying is silly. Fun fact.
Proven the conspiracy. Do you see where I'm coming from? So these words that they use. Here's another one. LGBTQ friendly. Give me a break.
Oh, is this lady gonna become a regular? Oh no.
How many gays? First of all, they have to figure out that you're gay. Okay?
Okay.
So, how many gay people have been thrown out of a pancake house because somebody thought they were gay?
Hold on, I gotta record that. That's a pairing with the 8 homosexuals in a Wendy's. Hold on, I gotta...
Okay. So, how many gay people have been thrown out of a pancake house because somebody thought they were gay? It doesn't even make any sense. It's there to make you feel like a victim. And if you look back, who are the real victims? Well, women are getting murdered and dumped by the side of the road, not gay men, women.
What? As if it has to be what? What are we doing now? There are terrible things happening to women. So the plight of queer people doesn't exist? Or gay men? What?
There's been a...
And yes, women can be gay, but I assume she's talking about gay men because she's differentiating, though I could be wrong. Maybe she's just not thinking very well. I don't know.
Couple of gay killings, but even those I think are
a couple of gay killings.
CIA inspired, and
no.
They are sequestered by the news in order to use it as, oh yeah, here we can make them into bigger victims than women. Because they hate us. They hate women. That is proof.
Why does this need to be some sort of competition in terms of why are we comparing in this way? There is not a hierarchy of these things. They are all co-equal issues.
Proven by the WNBA.
What?
Oh God. Somebody give me a hammer. I'm not...
What?
I can say what I want to do with it, but a coal shovel would work too. Antique coal shovel.
Did she just imply she wants to murder all of the players in the WNBA? Hello, FBI, is this a threat on the bingo card? Okay, where is that one? Hello, FBI, is this a threat? What number is that? 18. Hello, FBI, is this a threat on the bingo card?
Please, don't give me one of these things from China.
What was that laugh? I'm never gonna do that again.
So LGBTQ people, you're not being thrown out of restaurants. You know it. I know it.
What are you talking? I don't even know what she's referencing.
Quit pretending. It's a manipulation to make you feel like you're a victim. Oh, you mean some places are not LGBT? When have you ever seen a restaurant that said no gays allowed?
It doesn't necessarily say no gays allowed, but the idea that there aren't homophobic business owners is just, like, delusional. It's not the majority at this point. Most businesses are happy to take business from pretty much anyone. But yeah, there are occasions where people run into owners who are big pieces of shit. That absolutely happens. Even in my own city, there are multiple locations that within the queer community in our city are known as don't go to these stores because they are homophobic, they are transphobic, they openly mock or harass people in the queer community. Like, that is a thing. That is absolutely a thing.
Come on now. They want women to feel like victims too. So, it's like we're used to this. That's where the women's movement comes in. So they make you feel like victims, and then they come up with their women's movement that alienates you from men. So guess what's not happening? These women aren't getting any dates. They're not going to be having any babies. Ugh.
Oh, wow, she's fully down the, right-wing propaganda rabbit hole.
Oh, that was my sound off.
And yes, she seems to hate women as well.
Anyway, I have some wonderful, great interviews. A lot of them I've even forgotten what's on. And so I'm going to be re-showing those and be commenting on them like I am now and linking them to other things that we found out. It's all coming together. And I really want to talk about Epstein Island and these ceremonies that they're doing, which now makes a lot of sense, especially after this Steven Tyler thing that I showed.
Steven Tyler, of course. Reminder that after this stream, we are going to do a YouTube member and paid patron only stream. We're going to be looking at a conspiracy theorist we haven't looked at in a while. Hint, hint. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you join the Patreon or become a member on YouTube.
Because I was always wondering, Juan Osavan talked to me about them.
This is just a stream of consciousness. It feels disorganized.
Having these ceremonies on Epstein Island and how Hillary was so...
Like she's jumping from one topic to the other very, how do I want to put this? The segues are somewhat nonsensical. Or circumstantial.
Lauded because she's a DNA, I believe a combination of Rothschild and Rockefeller DNA. She's got DNA that facilitates their...
You got it, Rick M.
...agenda. In other words, now it's not even her.
No, not the quartering. Though I do wonder what he's up to these days.
Anymore.
Sorry, I got to go back. I was talking. I didn't hear what she said.
Rockefeller DNA. She's got DNA that facilitates a combination. She's a DNA, I believe a combination of Rothschild and Rockefeller DNA.
I don't think the Rockefellers were Jewish, right?
No.
So that's not inherently anti-Semitic.
She's got DNA.
Let me double check.
That facilitates their agenda. In other words,
No, they were not.
Now it's not even her anymore. It's a reptilian. Maybe they have, with their DNA, it could be possible that they are...
It is eugenics shit. It's just not exclusively anti-Semitic. Last time you looked, he's floundering to try to reconsolidate his audience. Good. Fuck Jeremy.
I say this because of Fritz Springmeier's book, How to Create the Perfect Illuminati Slave.
Sounds great.
And they break the...
Yes, reptilian on the bingo card, of course. Reptilian.
Brain up into...
Gillis filler with 40 bits and a link. Oh, that made me sad. Oh, god damn it.
Compartments.
Would that be Illuminati on the card? We already had that, but yes.
Into different compartments. That's what the personalities are there, but the compartments are there to house the entities that want to come in. Excuse me. These entities that are bred and eventually sacrificed in order to allow these other entities to come into the vessel. And whether they use a clone for that or not, I'm not sure. But the original is... I don't think that's Anderson Cooper. None of them were meant. They were about ready to do it to Diana. I believe. That's what I believe. These are all my...
Diane? Who's Diane?
Opinions based...
Sawyer? Princess Diana? Who are we talking about?
All this research I've been doing. I think what we're looking at is various entities inhabiting these clone bodies, or if they can do it with the original body. I think, let me stop.
Like, it's like she has like a thought disorder. I'm getting thought disorder vibes.
I think when they breed them, they're using different kinds of DNA to get different types of results. So they're not always doing it the same way, but they are able then with this DNA to house entities. And eventually
we had that amalgamane, but yes,
the original dies in a ceremony and the vessel is given over to a reptilian, and they are bred.
Why would the original agree to that? They're just dying
With reptilian DNA and other types of DNA in order to accept it. A human, it wouldn't work on because our DNA is different. But these people that they breed.
Wait, how is it a clone if their DNA is different? Like, definitionally, for it to be a clone, it has to have, like, it's the same DNA. It's a copy. It attempts to be as close as possible.
It works.
Check out this cover art. Let me see. How the Illuminati create an undetectable total mind control slave. That's a pretty sick cover. It almost looks like Goatsy, though. Like, it kind of feels like the eye is the hole in Goatsy, and, like, he's pulling it open. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do an Illuminati book, I probably shouldn't be thinking of Goatsy when I look at the cover. Don't Google it.
So what Juan was saying was that Hillary has the ability to...
Clinton's on the bingo card. Clinton's. Night Radiology. Good to see you. Clinton's, Biden's, Obama's on the bingo card.
Call up these archons through these reptilian hybrids. So not only in these ceremonies, everything is chaotic and there's screaming and there's blood and all this stuff. And then the one who is actually like Aleister Crowley would have been the one, the head of the ceremony, the one holding the ceremony. They're the ones getting these archonic energies all worked up. So the idea is to be in the right place at the right time with the right person, such as somebody like Hillary, to what this being has become. Remember, they wheeled it out in a vacuum cleaner bag, a
We have not, Ashley.
$5,000 vacuum cleaner bag that had all kinds of stuff going on underneath, okay? You could not see. You could just see shapes going on under there. Like, what is that? And ew, you spent $38,000 on that. So, and remember they picked her up by the seat of her pants and the back of her neck and tossed her into the van. So that wasn't Hillary. And then somebody else came out. Like a few hours later, somebody else was out there on the sidewalk talking to a little girl when she was supposed to have some kind of tuberculosis or something. People were being shown.
Holy shit, this poor lady is totally out of it. Hydrate, will do.
So yeah, whoever this entity is that is occupying Hillary Clinton, whether it's several entities, whether it's one entity.
Hillary Clinton is Legion. They will Pokemon Go to the polls.
They are able to conjure up these archons from...
Is this a new one? This is from 2 weeks ago.
These reptilian ceremonies that they do.
Is this a new person? Yes, we've never covered her before.
And they use blood, they use scream, they use sound, which is screaming. And it these demons, these demonic energies that can't manifest, are able to manifest only to a certain point, because the master of the ceremonies is controlling how much they can manifest, and they get angry. And so it's actually a dangerous thing to be around, because they get angry, they want out. So that's the way it was described to me to 107. And so then Christian 21, the original Christian 21, not the one that's out there now that spells his name with a K and goes sure.
Should I point out to you guys that she has 60,000 subscribers on BitChute, which for BitChute is insane. I need to point out to you that she is quite possibly one of the, like, she's a popular person on BitChute. Like, I cannot... This person is relatively popular on BitChute.
And is, wow, totally different.
60,000 subscribers on BitChute is like having like 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
From the other one. But that's not what this is about. This is about the original coming out with things that click, that fit, that answer more than one question at a time. And he said these reptilians wouldn't even be alive right now. These particular ones that are here now, the warrior caste, reptilians, wouldn't even be alive now if it wasn't for these archons. These archons are keeping them alive. And that's what this is about, using our DNA to keep them alive. And really creating a grocery store of sorts for other species and other beings to use our DNA. Our DNA is different because it's a combination of DNAs. And so it's usable by a lot of different species. And so it's very desirable. And Johann Fritz, his interview.
If they can just make clones, why don't they just make infinite clones and use their DNA?
And I'm going to show that again, because what he says is jewels aren't worth anything. Gold isn't worth anything. I mean, it's used, but it's not that valuable out in the universe. What they want is human DNA. Human DNA is the most valuable thing in the universe.
This is kind of the plot of Destroy All Humans. Do you guys remember Destroy All Humans? In Destroy All Humans, Cryptosporidium 6, what the heck is his number? I don't remember. Anyway, Crypto has to go to Earth to get human DNA because his species implanted their DNA in humans a long, long time ago, and now their DNA is degrading, so now they need to go abduct human beings and stuff and get their DNA so that they can repair the whatever the crypto species is so they can reproduce.
So by shutting
137, thank you. Cryptosporidium 137.
This matrix down, they've created a whole simulation around us to keep us here and keep us in low vibrations because they can
and the human brain stems, yes.
Feed off.
I think that's where they got it, from the human brain stems or something. That's a fun trilogy, the Destroy All Humans. I enjoyed that trilogy. Fun.
And
Furons, thank you. That's the name of the species.
They are extending their lives through us. Now, I'm going to make a comparison. This is kind of what the narcissist does. They feed off other people. Why? Because they have never been able to develop a core. And I'll get into this. But
you only played one since it was the only one on the 360. The remasters are pretty good. Or the remakes. Check them out if you like the original.
What I'm saying is the programming is narcissistic programming. It's the same as MK Ultra. Because from
MK Ultra on the bingo card. MK Ultra.
the very first moment they go into MK Ultra, they're being told that they're being tortured because they're special. Okay? And in many ways, especially in their world, they are special. So I have so many more surprises for you guys. I'm very excited about what's happening here in my house now. And all of this takes time, but I'm not going to lose contact with you guys. Why? Because you're high quality people. Because you're high IQ people.
I'm a high quality person.
If I
Yay!
wanted to right now, I could start a body cam, you know, and I'm not putting body cam videos down at all. But what I'm saying is a lot of these people fighting in public places and stuff, you know, it's low IQ entertainment. But I like low IQ entertainment sometimes. Sometimes I just want to get away from all the high IQ entertainment. But I'm going for the real gold here.
People obsessed with IQ scare me.
I want to know what's really going on. And I'm not the kind of person to stop looking. It's just not in me. And so I would not lose contact with you guys. They say empaths are not supposed to explain.
Oh my God, she thinks she's an empath.
Just don't explain. Just don't give a shit. That's what empaths are supposed to do. Just don't give a fuck. That's many videos are titled, "Stop Giving a Fuck," and everything will come to you. Well, I still give a fuck.
Where is she getting those videos?
Okay? I care about you people because you've been with me for such a long time.
What a horrifying algorithm do you have to have videos sent to you that are like, stop caring about people? Oh, God.
And I feel like I know you guys. And I could call you out by name if I wanted to right now, but I won't do that. I've already talked enough. But expect more of these. But I have to muddle through this stuff myself, and that's part of my ascension. I don't like doing these technical things. I get so mad. God, I get mad. I get so mad. I'm just like, And I'm not doing that now on purpose. If I feel myself getting mad, I stop. I stop doing it, and I go over here to the beast. Let's see if I can get him to be on camera. I have to move the microphone.
Is there going to be a cat? Please show me a cat. Is it going to be
Where
a dog?
are you? Well, look at you. You look so handsome.
Wait, where's the dog? Oh, it was at the bottom. Tiny dog.
By the way, I got a body cam of my own. It only cost $60 on Amazon. And I'm going to cut his hair. I'm going to try to use the body cam when I cut his hair. Because I'm learning how to cut the dog's hair. Not only does that number one, give me the haircut I want on my dog. I want him to look like a girl. They always make the Yorkies look like girls with the big puffy, no. I want him to look like a man.
Well, your dog's a dog, so that's not gonna happen. Okay.
They're not gonna trans my dog in the... I want him to look like a man. They're not gonna trans my dog in the freaking pet groomer's place.
Dogs don't have gender. They have sex. They don't have gender. Ashley One Up says, Alex Jones' voice, they're cutting the hair to turn the dogs trans. Transphobia/transvestigation on the bingo card. All right. That's a fun one. Trans dog. They're transing my dog.
I have to look and make sure his little weenie's still there.
All right, it's time. Let's fucking solve this thing. God damn it. Nemesaur, thank you so much for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. I appreciate it so much.
I had to do that with Truman because he always
Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub almost on a hype train.
looked like a girl when he came out. No, that's not going to happen this time. I'm learning how to do it myself. And the extra added bonus is it's going to save me a lot of money because they cost a lot of money to get your dog groomed like that. So we're working on it. That is one good thing.
They're transing the cats. No, I haven't done the Trump voice in a while. China. Hold on. They're transing the dogs. They're transing the cats. No, I lost it.
About this little, it's like a gigantic roast beef. When I pick it up, it's heavy. It's like a lamb. Like I've got like some kind of a lamb or a small cow or something in my arms. I'm like, God, you are dense. And he is very muscular and very powerful. Very powerful. And I'm going to...
We are now on a hype train. If you want to help out the hype train and support the show, I'd really appreciate it since we're getting closer to the end of the month and we still have a ways to go on the sub goal. So if you could help out by either using bits or gift subs, that'd be appreciated. 2% to level 4 on the hype train.
Keep him front and center because
Juggle
he's very
and hydrate.
important to my well-being. And I think anybody who has a pet knows what I'm talking about. Life is more fun with a pet, isn't it? We're working together on it. That's why I had the body cam. And I also want to I have a lot of things I want to do with that body cam. So look out. I'm a-coming. I hope you guys have a great day. Anyway, I will keep doing my little news updates too. But I just have to get this party started. Get this party started. You guys have a great day.
She's fucking awesome. We are so covering her again. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting us up.
I am a beaver. Oh, this dog does not like me.
Please stop having it make that noise. Please stop making that noise.
I am the beaver that you don't like.
Stop making that noise.
You're a beast. You're a beast. You get that beaver.
Thank you for finding this woman. I do my best, you know.
You get that beaver. He got a new movie star luxury bed, and I can get
Afghanistan, you fucker.
it in his bed with him. Look at him.
Fascinating. On the bright side, she posts pretty often, so yeah, we'll, I'm sure, be seeing more of her in the future.
Get that beaver. Get that beaver.
Stop with this. Stop with that noise in particular, please. Yeah, she posts regularly enough, so I'm sure we'll see her in the future. All right, moving on. Oh, hell yeah! Let's talk about this one.
When do you feel...
To be clear, we're not watching the whole, whatever this was called, Seduction of a Generation. This is just the intro.
This blatant turn towards the occult and witchcraft really took on its momentum.
Well, there's a cartoon called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe really broke the ground on this cartoon occultism.
We're going to play a little segment here showing the transformation of He-Man.
What you just seen is He-Man being transformed. In fact, his name is Adam.
Yeah.
First man.
Interesting.
Until he's transformed, and then he becomes...
Minute left in the hype train.
He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, by lifting his sword in the air and yelling by the power of Grayskull. Now, to understand this, we have to understand what Grayskull is. It is a castle built by unknown hands in the shape of the skull, and there's a demon spirit living within it that manifests in the shape of
what?
A skull. And so our good character is empowered by occultic demon spirits.
I'm pretty sure, I don't remember very well, but like, isn't Castle Grayskull originally built by evil, but it was conquered by good, and now the good Adam and his, because he's Prince Adam, he has like a father who's still the king and stuff. They all live there because it was like conquered by the good characters at some point before the show started or something. I don't remember.
In fact, I was talking to one lady, and I've heard...
I've not seen much Masters of the Universe.
Number of experiences.
That was before my time. I was into Power Rangers.
This, but she said my little boy was in the back seat of the car, and a radio preacher came on and said, "Our Lord God, the Master of the universe."
Thanks for the hype train, everyone.
And her boy jumped from the back seat of the car.
Nobody lives in Grayskull except maybe the sorceress. Okay, I guess I just don't know enough about He-Man.
And said, "Mommy, God isn't Master of the universe. He-Man is." Running around in circles.
Yeah, that'd be word association because it's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Saying He-Man has more power.
Or a story you made up. Either
power than Jesus. He-Man has more power than Jesus. This is Tila. And this young lady is involved in witchcraft, and you'll notice that she's a very voluptuous-looking thing, and they wear very tightly clad clothes and sometimes even negligee type things on the show.
So there's a sensuality about the toys also.
Yes.
There's several faces, the many faces in this little toy, which change, but you know, you can become a skeleton creature, and we could go around to the different faces. And this has got to have some kind of a message to the children.
Oh, definitely. It says you can be demon-possessed and still be good.
And
he just has many faces.
Skeletor is this ugly-looking skeletal creature with a staff in his hand. Now, what's that staff that he's got in his hand?
The staff is a ram's head staff. Now, the ram's head is a very occultic symbol. It's boiled in cauldrons. It's used in different...
Yeah, he's the villain. He's the villain?
Occult practices.
Of course, we know that the goat's head, the ram's head, represents Satan anyway in the occult. So little boys are really being programmed to evil. Could we talk about Snake Mountain for
Sure,
just a minute?
let's take a look at it.
It's got an interesting little feature here. I'm going to turn it on. It can actually transform your voice from your regular voice to that of an occultic hero. Is that correct? So let's get
an occultic hero. It's supposed to be Skeletor, I think.
Skeletor type of voice. Let me turn this on here. I think I'm getting it too loud. Skeletor, the master of the universe.
No. I gotta skip because of the music. But this video's gonna get into the new one.
Of the universe. 44 years after the first He-Man toys hit the shelves in 1982, they come out with another Masters of the Universe film. Seems like it's kind of a flop in terms of the box office, but that's not really the point of talking about this. Not here to do a movie review so much as a doctrinal review, I think. And He-Man actually, I realized as I was watching that little compilation that they put together from this discernment ministry from the 80s.
The fact that he's watching Deception of a Generation and taking it seriously is enough that he needs to get a CAT scan.
He's talking about the He-Man toys. By the way, apparently there's like a longer version of it. A friend of mine was saying...
Real Raw News is. I'll check it out, Harold Edelman.
That he's seen the whole thing, but I wasn't able to find it. So if anybody has a link... If you could find me like the full version of that, that show that was talking about He-Man and all.
I haven't seen it yet, for the record. I did download it. I have it. I haven't seen it yet. Like I said, I've never really been into Masters of the Universe. I only know it via kind of pop cultural osmosis and from watching Robot Chicken when I was younger. So I just haven't seen it yet.
The occult symbolism. I'd love to watch the whole thing, but
Skeletor was the best part of that new movie, by the way. The rest was meh. Is Jared Leto the best part of a movie? Oh my god, it's the end times.
Whoever made that clip was trying to kind of do it as an example of the cringiness of, like 80s satanic panic kind of talking points, but I'm watching it going, yeah, I mean, they're pretty much right on.
No, they're not!
The occult heroes and normalizing all kinds of ideas from witchcraft to a very young generation.
Is he also upset with witchy poo on H.R. Puffin stuff?
In the 1980s. It really was kind of the beginning of an era where, all of our Saturday morning cartoons were full of magic and witchcraft and spells and all kinds of stuff. So as corny as He-Man is, I think it's actually kind of the perfect example when it comes to this topic of the Nephilim, which I think I mentioned in my last video, that has been popularized, with the Book of Enoch and Genesis 6 and, starting with guys like Chuck Missler and then Tom Horn, Michael Heiser, all of whom are passed away now, and I'm not trying to get into them specifically, but this whole recent phenomenon about Enoch and Genesis 6 and the debate over, the sons of God and all this stuff, is something that I was made aware of 15 or so years ago, kind of when I started looking into a lot of different things in like the Bible prophecy, conspiracy realm. And so for a long time, I was pretty much in line with that whole, typical kind of breakdown of all those people I just mentioned. And the
Nephilim Stargates. Stargate probably can't be trademarked, right? At least not like Stargates. A show called Stargate, yes, but like...
idea that the Nephilim were some kind of hybrid race between fallen angels and...
Gillis Filler says, Hannah used to cover that one middle-aged guy in his office who gleefully narrates real raw news articles about tribunals and mass executions of Trump's opponents. Weirdly, he disappeared right after the election. Stopped making content altogether, disappeared off the face of the earth.
Human women and all this stuff. And for a number of reasons that have kind of developed over the years, I've gradually come to, first question that interpretation of Genesis 6, and but also see it in kind of a larger context. A lot of it having to do, I guess, with just seeing the fruits of it. It's one thing to present kind of your elevator pitch or the sales pitch of a doctrine or of an idea on paper, and it's another thing to kind of see how those doctrines play out, over time in the lives of people and how they relate to other doctrines and other, like, where do they really come from? A lot of the things that are not so obvious. A lot of questions that are not so apparent, per se, when you're looking at it for the first time. So it has been a process of questioning this stuff. It didn't happen all overnight. But essentially, I now see that rather than the idea of the Nephilim being a genetic hybrid of fallen angels and humans, personally, I now believe that it is much more akin to what you saw at the beginning of every He-Man cartoon opening, which basically explained this whole concept of this regular guy, Adam, interestingly enough, being infused with occult power, magical power. He calls upon the power of Grayskull, and we all did this when we were little boys and girls watching He-Man and She-Ra,
Again, I didn't. I did It's Morphin' Time.
And swords were cool, so anything with a sword, a power sword, was, a great hook for little boys and girls. But right, he calls on the power of Grayskull, and the lightning comes down and shoots into the sword. The sword is kind of like the conduit for the power that then makes him strong and brave and, a hero of renown. So as a lot of people want to...
He's using that language because men of renown is the wording used on the Nephilim in the Bible.
Say, but yeah, what about the sons of God taking daughter? It's clearly talking about fallen angels having children with women. And I understand that whole argument, and I'm not subscribed to the Sethite theory, as it's called. I'm not saying it was just humans having children with other humans and that would create giants, because, that doesn't make any sense. either.
I didn't know there were different camps on the Nephilim. I didn't know that some people were like, no, they were just genetic humans coming from Cain's line because he was cursed.
But what I've come to kind of realize is that there's still a lot of assumptions, particularly when it comes to like the Book of Enoch and people who want to, you know, kind of walk this whole fine line of, well, we don't think Enoch is scripture, but it's still, you know, informative and can help us understand, you know, so they kind of like want to have it both ways, where it's like, we don't want to affirm it as scripture. Some people do just flat out say like they kept it out of the Bible. But I think as I've learned more about Kabbalah and how historically the Kabbalist perspective on Enoch and other quote-unquote Second Temple Jewish literature, which is a sort of peculiar term that Heiser loved to say all the time, which essentially now I would just say is Jewish mysticism, because that was when a lot of the first writings on Jewish mysticism were circulating, was in the Second Temple period. So that's where all this stuff about, you know, Azazel and the fallen angels being sort of the primary focus of whatever was going on in Genesis 6. Whereas you read it, like, it says, these were the heroes of
Trying to get past this so he can get more into the He-Man stuff again.
old, the men of renown, right? They were men. So all the stuff about demons being the offspring of fallen angels and humans, to me, that's a whole false construct. You really don't need to come up with some explanation for where did demons come from, as if they have to be something categorically different than fallen angels. Because we could all agree that Satan, Lucifer, is a fallen angel, right? Who nevertheless was capable of possessing a human host, particularly in scripture where we see that he possessed Judas when he betrayed Jesus. Similarly, in the...
Wait, what? What? There are people who think Judas... I mean, there's so many sects. Of course someone has to believe this. There are people that believe that Judas was possessed by Satan? Wow, that's interesting. The whole story, you know how I feel about it, but holy shit.
The Gospels we see when Jesus encounters the Gadarene demoniac, and he casts out the legion of demons into the herd of swine. The man who was possessed had superhuman strength, right? Because he was possessed by all these demons, and he wasn't even some giant guy. He was just a normal-sized guy, but he could break out of iron chains, and he could not be subdued, which is pretty amazing that he just lived off in the wilderness outside of town, and they could hear him howling and acting like a wild man. So those are two undeniable scriptural references that we can make.
That sounds like a crazy person. That sounds like a person who needs help.
About the demonic realm and fallen angels, which are spirits who nevertheless can possess human beings, men and women. We have other examples as well. But the concept of demonic possession is pretty straightforward, and yet somehow when it comes to Genesis 6 and whatever was going on with the Nephilim, we have this entire, mythology, which has been developed and talked about for many centuries. As I said, it's, look it up for yourselves, but the idea that the Nephilim being a cross between humans and angels, it's discussed in the Zohar and in Talmudic Judaism many, many centuries ago. So I know some people want to argue that that doesn't mean that it's necessarily coming from Talmudic Judaism, but, show me where biblical scholars were talking about the Nephilim being the source of demons, or the idea of genetic. I think this is what it should be really telling for all of us, and I apologize, my voice is kind of raspy today, but it's really not difficult to see how the idea of people who are genetically inferior or genetically compromised or just genetically the idea of Noah being pure in his generations, that's a genetic reference rather than the idea that Noah and his lineage, his family line, was not participating in the wickedness of the world around them, that they were upright and faithful to God.
Oh, it's like a eugenics thing?
You can see how the whole idea of genetic purity connected to the modern Jewish Talmudic interpretation of Scripture, it's not really difficult to kind of see why that would play into their theology. Let's put it that way.
No. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Overt anti-Semitism on the bingo card. Good God. Phoenix with a 50 stream streak says, holy racism, Batman.
Way. Their eschatology in terms of the Goyim and the Noahide laws and all that. I do definitely think there's a connection there.
Yep,
it sort of introduces this idea, that there's this concept of genetic purity.
Ashley with a bingo. Let's take a look at this bingo card. Shilling, Tartaria, Reptilians, Overt Anti-Semitism, Illuminati, Freemasons, Cabal. That is a winner, Ashley. So you win for the day. I will write down your name and you can let me know when you'd like that subscription. Where is the video we were just watching? Great.
Into the
donate it, cool beans.
The biblical framework.
Just as the inhabitants of Sodom were going after angels, what Jude...
Let's see who gets the random gift sub. Let's see.
is very possibly saying is that the angels of Genesis 6 were going after humans. And you say, how can angels do that? Jesus says that, you know, that in heaven we're going to be like the angels who never marry or given marriage. And
there we go. Poot Pogger gets the random
angel, a demon, can indwell a human being that's not born again. So Peter says that, see, what the demons were trying to do before the flood was they were trying to get every single human being to sign on to this allowing them to enter their flesh and to live within them and to empower.
You have no basis for claiming this in the text. What are you talking about?
For them to kind of like Mormonism, you know, go to the celestial planet and have celestial sex, you know, and whatever Mormonism teaches. It's not new. It's what the devil's always promised. Now think about that playing out in the earth today. Think about a demon intrusion where demons tell humans, you want to be super intelligent? Surrender to us. You want to be super strong? Look how people go out of their way for their diet and you know, all this. They want to have a strong body. How would you like to be able to pick a car up without working out in the gym? How would you like to have super intelligence and not even have to spend $50,000 a year to go to some university? Just have a demon have you filled with all knowledge.
That's not how anything works. If you think this is how the world works, you need help. You need to be removed from society temporarily so that you can be corrected. Oh my goodness.
Well, facts, not knowledge.
Like, oh, that person's real smart. They must be infested with demons. No, they went to school. What the fuck?
You see, there's a time coming when what was going on then, we're going to see playing out in the tribulation, where the whole world is given over to demonism.
And so, if nothing else, we should be aware that there are other possibilities besides just the Sethite theory, which denies any supernatural involvement, and then the popularized Nephilim are genetic hybrids theory. Those aren't the only two options, is what I'm saying. And simply put, as I've heard it described, there's the also possibility that the sons of God, referring to angels who left their first estate, but then possessed human men who then, they married human women, but using a human man as a vessel to do that. And living on earth and then raising, having children through the human vessel. So this whole idea of human vessels is very kind of important, and that ties back into He-Man in a second. But when you think about it not being a matter of genetic...
You think I might be possessed by demons? Well, they need to start doing more of the work then.
But of basically an occult ritual where a child...
And if demons are going to be inside me, they need to start paying rent.
Being conceived in a demonized act, right? With a demon-possessed man and a woman who's potentially a willing participant in this act as well. And that essentially being the framework for which you would have children that were reared in a demonized state from the womb. And perhaps that could play into, growth hormones and having physical effects and making them large in size. But I think the whole idea of giants being large beings is kind of missing the whole point and putting the emphasis on, not that there aren't giants in the Bible, right? Goliath being an example, and Og of Bashan, and sure. But I think the whole point of this is to realize that a demonized individual does not require excessive size to have superhuman strength. Very similar to what we see with He-Man, and, he doesn't really get any bigger when he becomes He-Man. He just becomes empowered, right? So I confess I did do a little research with this new movie and watched a few clips of it that kind of basically reinforced the same idea of a vessel for this occult power.
I watched some clips just to reinforce the thing I already believed. I'm gonna say that out loud.
And then you've got Castle Grayskull. My father once told me that Eternia is the beating heart of the cosmos, and Grayskull is the heart of that heart. So I guess the heart of the heart is the power of Grayskull. They say it can make a man as mighty as a god. To keep it safe, the power was bound within a vessel, an ancient sword they called the Sword of Power. Yeah, I know, but that's what they went with. Legend said that when Eternia was in its greatest need, hero...
Can I just point out a thing? I know I'm not the first person, but screenwriters need to stop being embarrassed about the material they're doing. You need to stop lampshading. It's called the Sword of Power. Yep, that's what they decided to call it. No. It's the Sword of Power. Accept it. Don't make a little fucking quip. Just say it. Why are you writing this screenplay if you're embarrassed to be writing it? Why are we embarrassed of fantasy? Why are we embarrassed of the silliness of genre fiction?
Would step forth and wield the sword, and, use it awesomely. Until that day, it was locked away within the castle under the watchful eye of the sorceress, who was wise and ancient and a little scary, to be honest, but she's cool. She's cool. For hundreds of years, Grayskull has remained under the protection of my ancestors. See, I come from a pretty impressive lineage of mighty heroes. noble, strong, fearless. Yes.
Franklin Gela Skeletor rules. I'll die on that hill.
The power fills me. Yes, I feel the universe within me. I am a part of the cosmos. Its energy flows through me. Of what consequence are you now? This planet, these people, they are nothing to me. The universe is power. Pure, unstoppable power. And I am that force. I am that power. Kneel before your master. Fool. You are no longer my equal. I am more than man. More than life.
Did Skeletor need a 10-minute long speech? Yes. Yeah, Dolph Lundgren played He-Man in this version. It's not really a good movie. I like some of the production design. It's one of those movies where they do the trope in order to save money, where the fantasy characters, like the first 5 minutes of the movie is in the fantasy world, but then they all get transported to the real world. I hate that trope. I hate that trope. But the production design of a lot of the makeups and the stuff that actually exists in Eternia is really good. And it pisses me off and makes me sad that we didn't get to see a full 80s He-Man movie, or 90s, whenever this was, He-Man movie that really went into the Eternia stuff. Yes, like reverse isekai. I hate that. So bad. Smurfs did that shit too.
So yeah, just the idea of the power to turn a man into a god, right? And so this would tie into things like Nimrod becoming a Gibborim. I mean, this actually kind of addresses a lot of issues that people, it's like, okay, well, how else could you interpret Genesis 6? And they think it's so, like, open and shut in terms of it being a genetic hybrid situation. But then it's like, okay, it also says that they were on the earth in those days and also afterwards, right? After the flood. And so there's that whole debate over, was there a second incursion of fallen angels, or did they, like, somehow survive the flood, or whatever, you know, on the ark, or did they create their own boat and all this stuff? Which, by the way, Jewish mysticism talks about Og of Bashan somehow surviving the flood, him being much older.
Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. Let's do one more, and then we'll move on to the patron show. Oh, this is only 10 minutes. This is perfect.
Channel, it is I, Chris with a K. I hope everyone's well. It is that time. It is that time. There's always been something strange about Disney. Not just the adult jokes people have pointed out for decades, not just the alleged
Yeah, that's not weird. That's a thing.
sexual imagery.
Wow, putting in jokes that adults can enjoy when they're forced to watch children's media? Crazy.
Buried frame by frame inside classic animations.
Don't show that. Really? Really? When you see it, what am I gonna see? What am I gonna see here? I don't understand what I'm supposed to see. Oh, it's someone sucking dick! What? This isn't even Disney! That's not in the movie! Why is he even playing this one? That's not in the movie! What? Why is he including ones that aren't even in the movie?
Not just the whispers surrounding Club 33, Disney's...
Oh my god. It's just a thing for rich people to join, to go at Disney World.
Extra exclusive private club hidden inside Disneyland.
It's not hidden. Again, it's not hidden. It's not really secret. It's just a thing you gotta pay a bunch of money and be a rich person to be a part of. It's like a private little restaurant and club in the park that you can go to if you're a member. That's it.
But something deeper. Because when you begin to look closely at the symbolism Disney repeatedly uses, you start seeing patterns connected to the occult philosophy, sacred geometry, and even ideas linked to secret societies like the Freemasons. And one of the clearest examples comes directly from Disney itself. In an old educational Disney production about mathematics and geometry, viewers are introduced to the ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras, the same figure heavily associated with mysticism, hidden knowledge, numerology.
Okay, how about his theorem? I'm guessing he's there for the theorem and not the cult shit.
And a Stoic school of thought. But the way Disney presents it is interesting. They don't simply describe mathematics, they describe a secret fraternity. A hidden group meeting privately, exclusive membership, secret symbols, passwords, sacred knowledge reserved only for the initiates.
I mean, was that how they were treating it at the time? Were there people getting together in effectively secret clubs to teach each other stuff that they're figuring out? Like math and geometry?
And then
I don't know enough about the classic era to like genuinely know. I don't know what ancient Greece was like. I don't know how this knowledge was spread. I have no idea. So someone please let me know if you do know.
Comes the symbol itself, the pentagram. Not treated as dark, not treated as controversial. Instead, Disney presents it as a source of mathemagic. That exact word, mathemagic.
Ashley One Up says he would be shocked to learn how much porn is locked away in the Disney vault. Everything those animators did was Disney property back in the day, even their doodles.
Magic. Now, historically, the pentagram has carried layers of meaning. To ancient mystics, it represented harmony, proportion.
Man, what if it's just like a shape? Wouldn't that be great?
Hidden cosmic order, and the so-called perfection of nature. Later, it became heavily tied to the occult traditions, ceremonial magic, and Stoic systems adopted by various secret societies. And Disney doesn't stop there. The film then moves on to, and I will show you this film, then the film moves on to the golden section, also known as the golden ratio. A proportion believed by ancient philosophers to contain divine perfection, a mathematical pattern supposedly embedded throughout nature, art, architecture.
I think you may have, Harold Edelman, I'm not sure though.
And even the human body. The narration almost reveres it, calling it magical.
Phoenix says the pentagram was actually used as a projective symbol against witchcraft in the Middle Ages.
Infinite, perfectly self-replicating. And this is where things get fascinating, because sacred geometry, especially the golden ratio and pentagram, appears constantly throughout elite symbolism, as Stoic teachings.
Guys, we can find stars and spirals all over the place.
And
also, the golden ratio is used in art all the time. Used in depictions, used in framing shots, used in sort of the balance of the frame, so to speak.
Architecture. Then there's Club 33, Disney's famously secretive private club located in New Orleans Square inside Disneyland. And why 33? That number has enormous...
I don't know, was Walt Disney a Freemason? Seems like the kind of thing he'd been into. Again, not in like a Freemason secret society evil conspiracy way, just in a Freemasonry was an organization, still is, and people joined it.
Significance in Freemasonry, especially within the Scottish Rite, where 33 degree is considered the highest honorary level. Of course, Disney has never officially stated the number was chosen for Masonic reasons, but critics and researchers have questioned the coincidence.
Conspiracy crackpots.
For decades, especially when you
It was just building number 33.
Combine it with Disney's
funny if true
repeated use of hidden symbolism, exclusive inner circles, coded imagery, and reoccurring references to ancient mystical concepts. And then there's the hidden imagery controversies. Over the years, Disney has repeatedly faced accusations of sneaking in sexual references and subliminal imagery into animations. Whether intentional or not, these discoveries fueled a growing belief that Disney operated on multiple layers.
People are goddamn crazy. Subliminal messages don't work. They've done studies on this. Subliminal messages do not work. They do not work. I believe if they did, advertisers would use them all the time. But they don't. So they don't.
Public facing, another one hidden beneath the surface. And maybe that's the real point here. Disney was never just selling cartoons, it was building mythology. A modern fantasy empire filled with symbols, archetypes, hidden meanings, initiation themes, secret doors, magic kingdoms, chosen heroes, the encoded imagery that millions of...
It's literally a company he made to make money. Walt Disney was a huge capitalist. Like, he was so into that shit, and union busting, my god.
Without ever questioning it. Now, some people dismiss this all as coincidence. Others believe that Disney understood exactly what it was doing. But either way, the patterns are difficult to ignore, especially when the company itself openly produced material discussing secret fraternities, pentagrams, sacred geometry.
Stone Corbell says, even if subliminal messages worked, what purpose would hiding the word sex in the dust in the Lion King even serve? It's not a message. It's a single word. What's the subliminal message? Good question. I don't know.
Geometry and hidden mathematical magic decades before most people ever noticed. And once you see it, you start noticing it everywhere. So I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to let you watch the cartoon in which I am referring to. So do let me know what you think in the comments below, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.
What a silly person. I'm not going to watch this whole cartoon because I'm sure it's copyrighted by the Walt Disney Corporation. Anyway, so that's 4 hours. We're going to do our Patreon and YouTube member show, so I'm going to end this stream. And then I'm gonna take like 10 minutes to go run to use the bathroom, fill up my water, everything, maybe grab a snack, and then we'll be back on the Patreon and YouTube member-only stream to watch more conspiracy stuff. I will be back tomorrow for a regular stream. It will be a longer stream, but it'll be a completely public stream. So if you're not a member or a patron member, I will see you guys tomorrow. And have a good one. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. I'm not gonna do a raid. Just gonna end it.